Chapter 4908. Between heaven and earth, this blade could cut through everything. However, Lin Xian was not afraid at all. He clenched his hand into a fist and punched out. The Six Paths fist collapsed the heavenly domain, and the flaming divine blade was cut in half. The expert who attacked also vomited blood and was sent flying. His face was pale, and he was dumbfounded. How was this possible? His fist was so terrifying. I'll kill him. Another person walked out. This person had earth-shattering power. Blood light soared into the sky as if he had turned into hell. The endless sea of blood condensed into a blood-red scythe of death that slashed forward. Some of the spectators felt their scalps go numb as they quickly retreated. They realized that the people who attacked were not weaker than the myriad transformations young master in terms of status and strength. The one who attacked previously was a great sage from the Golden Crow clan. The one who attacked now was the disciple of the Blood Blade Master. The Blood River Master was also a peak existence among the great sage. How could his disciple be weak? With a slash of the blade, it was as if the blood god had been resurrected. Lin Xian snorted coldly. Great destruction appeared in his hand, and he flew out, turning into a flying dragon that bared its fangs and brandished its claws. Boom! The sky was collapsing, and the earth was cracking. The blood-red scythe also turned into pieces, and a black spear pierced the Blood Prince's forehead. His head split open, and his soul roared. Damn it! The myriad transformations young master and the other's pupils shrank. They attacked together. They could see that this demonic expert was too terrifying, and he came from the Sacred Abyss Tower. They had heard of the Sacred Abyss Tower's reputation. Those who could be on the list were all top figures. With an angry roar, the five of them attacked together. The myriad transformations young master used the myriad transformations sacred art, and the terrifying laws could dissolve everything. The demonic aura around Lin Xian was also disappearing. Myriad transformations divine palm. With a palm strike, it was earth-shattering. Blood river destroying the sky. The scythe of death turned into the sky and pressed down. Solar divine blade. The Golden Crow clan's young master turned into a peerless sun and descended from the sky. The other two experts who attacked each threw out a peerless punch. The other person was even more extraordinary, and he actually threw out a trace of chaos aura. This was the power that could split heaven and earth. The five experts attacked together, and everyone looked up to them. It's over. That demonic expert is dead for sure. No one could escape from this attack. Buzz. Lin Xian's body emitted a monstrous demonic aura, as if he had turned into a demon lord. A phantom image appeared beside him as he summoned the dimensional beast, which teleported him and disappeared in an instant. The place where he was standing turned into a black hole that connected to the universe. Humph, this brat should be dead. Myriad transformation Gongzi coldly snorted. The others frowned. They had let him off too easily. She should have asked about his whereabouts. It doesn't matter. If he can find the information, so can we. The man who was surrounded by the aura of primal chaos walked in that direction. He also wanted to ascend the heavenly court to search for information. Puff! The young noble vomited blood and flew backward with half of his body shattered. Boundless devil chi filled the air. Damn it! He roared, and his body shattered the ground. The other four turned their heads in shock. How could this be? He was still alive. They saw that in the void, the man with monstrous demonic chi was coming again, and he was coming at them aggressively. He severely injured the Golden Crow Prince with one strike. Then, he charged at the Blood Prince. The Blood Prince roared, and the blood in the 9 heavens and 10 earths shook. But in the next moment, he hugged his head and screamed. His soul was ignited. No. He became terrified as if he had gone crazy. He was under Lin Xian's eye technique. To be precise, it was an illusion technique. The Blood Prince wanted to cultivate the Blood God technique. He had killed countless people in his life, and there were too many living beings in his hands. Naturally, some vengeful spirits would come looking for him. Previously, the Blood Prince was powerful and was not afraid of anything. But under the influence of the illusion technique, he became terrified, as if his body was being torn apart by countless vengeful spirits. His entire person collapsed. Damn it, what kind of power was this? The myriad transformations young noble's expression was ugly. The other two also had grave expressions. This demonic cultivator was too terrifying. In the blink of an eye, he had seriously injured two experts. Let's attack together and kill him. The myriad transformations young noble walked out. He said that he would definitely not be able to escape from the myriad transformations array. With a wave of his palm, the myriad transformations array danced, sealing the entire world. If he wanted to escape, he would be turned into ashes. Let's see how you escape this time. The myriad transformations young noble sneered. The mysterious man with the primal chaos aura shouted coldly. I will make you completely turn into nothingness. Lin Xian laughed. Escape? Why should I escape? The ones who will die will be you. He waved his hand and charged towards the myriad transformations young noble. The myriad transformations young noble snorted coldly. Myriad transformation Saint Palm. He struck out with his palm, and the surrounding demonic aura shattered and dissipated. You are not my match at all. He charged over with a sinister smile. However, Lin Xian used the power of the great dragon sword soul. When he struck out, it was like a black demonic sword piercing through heaven and earth. The myriad transformation Saint Palm was directly pierced through. The myriad transformations young noble jumped in fright and quickly retreated. One of his arms was chopped off. Damn it, you can actually break my myriad transformations array. He was really too shocked. What kind of power was this? Their myriad transformations sex myriad transformation Saint Art was extremely terrifying. It had been passed down for a long time and could resolve everything in the world. In a battle of the same level, no one was their match. Unless the difference in realm was too great and they used their peerless cultivation to suppress it, they could block it. But now, the other party's cultivation did not seem to be higher than his. Even his cultivation was inferior to his, but he was able to shatter his law. It was really hard to believe. Damn it, this brat must have a heaven-defying treasure on him. Thinking of this, he quickly retreated. But the next moment, he also screamed miserably. His soul was ignited. Damn it, the other party also knew soul attacks. He jumped in fright and hurriedly used his law to extinguish the soul fire. However, he was still a step too late. Although the soul fire was extinguished, he still suffered heavy injuries. His body almost fell from the sky. Black and white elders, kill him for me. Two old men walked out from behind the myriad transformations young noble. These were the two old servants from before. One had black hair, the other had white hair. Both of them were great sage. They were very terrifying. Like ghosts, they arrived beside Lin Xian. The withered claws reached out to grab Lin Xian's shoulders, grabbing them in an instant. Then they pulled forcefully. Die. Under this kind of power, the entire sky was torn into two halves. But Lin Xian's body emitted a thunderous sound and did not shatter. How was this possible? What kind of physique was this? Demon god physique. Black and white elders were shocked. The others were even more dumbstruck. Lin Xian sneered. His arms shook, and he clasped the wrists of black and white elders. Fight with me. His arms shook, waving heaven and earth. Black and white elders danced like windmills, smashing into the ground. With a boom, the ground shattered. Their bodies swayed and they vomited large mouthfuls of blood. Damn it. The two wanted to escape, but Lin Xian's hands were like iron pliers, grabbing their wrists, making it impossible for them to escape. Lin Xian waved again. The two collided, and half of their bodies were smashed. Chapter 4909. The myriad transformations young master was dumbfounded. The black and white elders weren't weak. They were specially sent by the Lord of Myriad Transformations to protect him. But now, they were being beaten up. Was the gap between them really that big? What level had this mad god reached? The black and white elders crippled their own arms to escape. Their faces were ferocious, and their eyes were filled with killing intent as they attacked again. This time, the laws of both of them burned like a monstrous fire that engulfed the world. Lin Xian held the human ruler's seal in his left hand and the mountain-embracing seal in his right. He opened and closed his palms as he charged forward. Under the demonic energy, the human ruler's seal turned into a demonic god with the power to split heaven and earth. It blasted Elder Black into a bloody mist. The mountain-embracing seal turned into an immemorial demonic mountain that was 100,000 feet tall and descended from the sky. The entire world shook. Elder White was suppressed. Her soul was shaken to death. She was dead. The myriad transformations young master was terrified. His two super guardians had died just like that. Damn it, he was so ferocious. Hurry up and attack. Before he finished speaking, his hair stood on end because Lin Xian had already arrived beside him. What fast speed! Was it a spatial divine ability? Her scalp went numb. This person's soul was strong, his physique was strong, and he even knew spatial divine abilities. Which race was he from? You dare! The chaotic figure roared. The other war god with a powerful physique also roared. They could also see that this mad god was too strong. If the myriad transformations young master died, their side would be completely suppressed. The two of them attacked. One of them shot out the light of chaos, crushing over. The other stretched out his hand and enveloped Lin Xian. Lin Xian sneered. His body dimmed as the dimensional beast teleported him away again. But before he left, he used the great dragon sword. This myriad transformations young master was extremely terrifying. If it wasn't for him, it would be very difficult for others to kill him. Even he had to use the power of the great dragon sword. So, he didn't hesitate to slash out. The cry of a dragon resounded. The myriad transformations young master roared crazily and used the myriad transformations sacred art. Between heaven and earth, a myriad transformations painting enveloped him. Of course, it was useless. The great dragon sword cleaved open his body, and under the all-conquering power, his body vanished into thin air. Was he dead? Everyone went crazy. Myriad transformations young master's myriad transformations law couldn't dissolve it. Was this a fatal sword? What kind of swordsmanship was that? With a wave of his hand, Lin Xian collected the storage rings of the three fallen cultivators. Then, he turned around again and stared at the other two. If you have any last words, please leave them. The two men's faces were gloomy and cold. The godlike man walked out and said in a clear voice, I want to compete with you in terms of physique. Lin Xian smiled. Sure, if he lost, he would die. You dare to look down on me? The war god shouted in rage and punched. 10,000 bolts of thunder danced in the sky. He admitted that the other party was very strong, but in terms of physical strength, he would not lose to anyone. The entire world shook violently, spreading far and wide. Countless people in the distance were also horrified. They looked up at the sky and saw that the sky was collapsing and the earth was cracking. Someone was fighting a great battle. This was Primeval City, and if it was any other place, the entire city would have probably been destroyed long ago. Even so, the scene was still shocking. Countless people looked in the direction of the sound and soared into the sky, wanting to watch the battle. In front, Lin Xian looked at this punch and nodded. "You're very strong, but you're not my match." He also clenched his fist and punched out. 6 Paths Fist. 6 phantoms connected with each other in the fist as if they had turned into a world of 6 paths. He punched out. The godlike man's fist was shattered, revealing his white bones. He covered his wound with a terrified expression. "Who are you?" "Me." Lin Xian snorted coldly. "Mad God. From today onwards, this name will be your nightmare." As he spoke, he attacked again. The 6 Paths fist swung out, and 3 punches shattered the godlike man into pieces. It was terrifying. "You can't kill me, I'm from the Sky Battling Clan." The Sky Battling Clan had been passed down from ancient times. They were very mysterious and had always lived in seclusion. It was rumored that this clan was extremely powerful and had astonishing combat strength. It was said that they even dared to fight the heavens. Who would have thought that this man's background was so extraordinary? Lin Xian sneered. "So what? When you teamed up with the 1,000 Transformations young master to attack me, you should have thought of today's outcome." Lin Xian was unmoved and walked out. Another 6 Paths fist shattered the other party, and that person's soul also entered the cycle of reincarnation. "Is he dead?" The surrounding people were terrified and almost fainted. Who would have thought that after reporting his family, he still couldn't make Mad God stop? Someone was terrified. No wonder he was called Mad God. He was really too arrogant and didn't put anything in his eyes. It's over. 4 great experts had fallen and he had offended 4 top forces. No matter how strong this Mad God was, it would be difficult for him to survive. At this moment, there was only one person left in the sky. It was a man surrounded by a chaotic aura. His background was also extraordinary, and he was arrogant and didn't put anything in his eyes. However, Lin Xian had killed 4 great experts in a row, which really shocked him. He knew that he was probably no match for the other party. Although he didn't want to admit it, it was a fact. His eyes flickered. After thinking for a long time, the chaotic man sighed. "I admit that my current strength is inferior to yours. I admit defeat." While admitting defeat, he also gave himself a way out. Although he was inferior to the other party now, it didn't mean that he would be inferior to the other party in the future. He would definitely return this grudge in the future. Lin Xian sneered. Since he admitted defeat, he was still so arrogant. Since he admitted defeat, then kneel down and kowtow to apologize. "I can spare your life." "Impossible." The chaotic man roared. Admitting defeat was already the biggest concession he could make, but he still had to kneel down and kowtow. This was even more uncomfortable than killing him. Why? Not satisfied. Not satisfied. If I had fallen into your hands today, would you have let me go just because I admitted defeat? The chaotic man fell silent. They naturally wouldn't. They would use all kinds of methods to torture the other party to death and get what they wanted. At the same time, he also understood that the other party was also a powerhouse, but he was even more arrogant and arrogant. Therefore, begging for mercy was impossible. He could only use a secret technique to escape. He snorted coldly, and a pair of chaotic wings appeared on his back. He tore open the sky and fled into the distance. Did he escape? Everyone was shocked. Even a powerhouse with a chaotic aura was no match for him. This mad god was really going to become famous in the world today. Looking at the fleeing figure, Lin Xian didn't chase after him. With a wave of his hand, the spear of great destruction appeared in his palm and he gripped it tightly. Then, he flew into the distance. The great spear of destruction turned into a black lightning bolt and tore through the 9 heavens. It chased after the chaotic figure in front of him. This power was too strong. It carried the indestructible aura of the great dragon's sword and the terrifying aura of the demonic path. Between heaven and earth, black thunder descended in all directions because of this power. In front, the chaotic man heaved a sigh of relief. Although he was defeated today, he could finally escape unscathed. It could be considered a blessing in disguise. But in the next moment, his scalp went numb. Chapter 49:10. Has that person caught up? He turned around abruptly, only to see a black spear piercing through the sky. It rushed over with endless thunder and lightning in its wake. It was actually a weapon. Is he trying to throw a weapon to kill me? What a joke. The other party is underestimating me too much. I'm stronger than the previous 4. Chaos splitting heaven and earth. At this moment, his expression became solemn, and the chaotic aura around him became even more terrifying, turning into laws. In his palm print, it was rolling rapidly. He stretched out his arms, one finger pointing to the sky and the other pointing to the ground, as if he was really going to open up a world. The surrounding chaotic laws intertwined with each other, transforming into an illusion of a world that enveloped him. He was like the god of the world, his might unstoppable. Boom! In the next moment, the great spear of destruction blasted the area where the chaos split heaven and earth, emitting an earth-shattering sound. A terrifying storm swept out in all directions. Retreat quickly. The people in the distance were terrified. This force was too strong. They retreated one after another, and a few of them who retreated too slowly were instantly torn into pieces. In the distance, the people who wanted to rush over to watch the battle also stopped. Their faces were filled with fear. If this force continued to move forward, they would be courting death. In front, the storm was monstrous. The chaotic man sneered and blocked it. He used his chaos to split heaven and earth to block the other party's weapon. Also, this weapon looked good. He would accept it. Thinking of this, he stretched out his palm and grabbed in front of him. However, an indiscernible crack quietly appeared. Then, in a second, it spread throughout his entire chaotic laws. Impossible. The chaotic man was terrified. Has the chaotic laws been broken? Run. That was his only thought. However, he still underestimated this attack. Although Lin Xian had only thrown out a single weapon, the force behind it was simply too strong. If the chaotic man had dodged, he might have been able to escape with his life. However, he chose to take it head-on. This was the most foolish thing to do. He had to pay the price for his actions. Pooh! The great spear of destruction shattered. The chaos split heaven and earth, striking the chaotic man's body and piercing through him. Then, it carried him along the way, directly shattering hundreds of mountains, and finally nailing him to the surface of a cliff. Ah! The chaotic man roared crazily, trying to escape. He discovered that the spear contained an indestructible power that directly destroyed the meridians and laws in his body. He couldn't even use his strength. Whing! The void in front of him split open, and a demonic figure walked out, his cold gaze enveloping him. Who are you? The primal chaos man roared furiously. Who are you? Lin Xian countered with a question. His eyes flickered, but he didn't attack immediately. I come from eternal beginnings. Kid, are you afraid? Let me go and I'll let bygones be bygones. At the same time, this weapon will be mine. 10,000 beginnings. Lin Xian's eyes flickered. True spirit world's all beginnings holy land. It seems that you aren't ignorant. The all beginnings holy land is only a part of the all beginnings holy land. Our all beginnings sect represents too much. Not only do we have our holy land in the true spirit world, but we also have our power in the buried Emperor Star. We are existences that evolved from the creation of the world. How can you compare to us? All beginnings. Lin Xian's eyes flickered. It seemed that the names of the holy lands in the true spirit world weren't randomly chosen. Each of them had a profound meaning behind them. Since you have the power to create the world and also control the primal chaos law, very well, I won't kill you. From now on, you can become my battle servant. What did you say? The primal chaos man was furious. He was going to become a prisoner. What kind of joke was this? If you touch me, the all beginnings won't let you off. However, before he could finish speaking, Lin Xian's hand grabbed his head. At the same time, a terrifying light appeared in his eyes. Seal of life and death. Once the seal of life and death was planted, one's life and death would be controlled by oneself and not by the heavens. Lin Xian's ice-cold voice echoed in the other party's mind. The primal chaos man crazily roared. He resisted with all his strength, but under the power of the heaven's secret divine ability, his soul was completely crushed. In the end, his soul dimmed as the seal of life and death was planted in the depths of his soul. From now on, his life and death would no longer belong to the heavens. Lin Xian retrieved the Great Destruction Spear. The primal chaos man knelt on one knee, greeting his master. What's your name? Lin Xian asked coldly. Master, my name is Pan Xiang. Very good. Lin Xian waved his hand and disappeared with the two of them. Did they leave? The people in the distance were shocked. After a long time, they finally rushed over. Then, they investigated. What happened to the last person? They only saw the shattered mountain peak and the primal chaos blood all over the ground. Could it be that he was also killed? Heavens, the 5 great experts had all fallen. This was an earth-shattering matter. This matter quickly spread. For a moment, the entire Taiching ancient city was shaken. The sects behind the 5 great experts also went crazy. They sent the great sage over and found that it was indeed the case. Damn it, how dare you attack my myriad transformation sect? The Lord of all transformations roared at the sky, his voice shaking the 9 heavens. Who did it? The experts of the Golden Crow race also came. The Blood River race also came. When the great sage was angry, the sky fell and the earth cracked. Finally, they found out that it was a person called Mad God who did it. Mad God, who is this person? Quickly go and investigate. At the same time, the name Mad God spread throughout Taiching ancient city. Not good. Crane Joshua flew back with an ugly expression on his face. What happened? Divine General Wind Snow frowned. Did something happen in the Heavenly Court ruins? He Joshua said, reporting to the Divine General, no. It's not about the Heavenly Court, but Mad God. What happened to Mad God? Divine General Cloud asked. He Joshua said, the news has spread. Mad God killed 5 great experts near the Heavenly Court ruins, including the Myriad Transformation sect, the Golden Crow race, and even the Myriad Beginning sect. What? Divine General Wind Snow was shocked. Divine General Cloud's expression also changed. This was a big matter. What was that mad god doing? Divine General Qian Chang's expression also darkened when he heard the news. Although we are from the Sacred Abyss Tower and don't fear any power, with so many forces attacking together, we won't be able to stop them. Moreover, this is Taiqing Ancient City, not our territory. Did that mad god not understand this? Where is he? Divine General Qianqing, Leng He, if the 5 great powers come looking for us, we will suppress Mad God and send him out. After all, we can't allow a war to break out at this juncture. No. Divine General Ocean Origin shouted, Mad God is one of us. If you send him out now, what will the world think of us? I don't agree. I didn't agree either. Brother Yun stood up as well. Divine General Wind Snow said, let's not talk about this for now. Let's find that kid and ask him about the situation first. Mad God might be arrogant, but I don't think he would attack for no reason. They began to move out and search for Mad God. Chapter 49:11. At this moment, Lin Xian had found a place to hide for the time being. He brought Pan Xiang to the Sword World. Kid, you actually brought someone here again. Who is it this time? The 4 spirit beasts were surprised. They realized that there was another person following behind Lin. I can feel the aura of primal chaos from him. The spirit dragon exclaimed. The aura of primal chaos was indeed very helpful to this world. The spirit turtle also laughed. That's right, Lin Xian did not kill the other party because the other party was useful. He planned to throw the other party into the sword world. Let the other party's law of primal chaos provide power to the sword world. Primal chaos had the power to split the heavens and earth, perhaps it was what the sword world needed. Of course, he was still experimenting in the 4-Spirit Valley. The current 4-Spirit Valley was 5 times larger than before. It was no longer a small place. Instead, it was a very large valley. The 4 spirit veins formed by the 4 spirit beasts had also become much larger in the past, which made them very happy. The 4 of them stayed here at ease. They even took the initiative to take care of the spirit herbs in the 4 spirit valley. These spirit herbs were growing very well. Outside, there was an additional layer of mysterious power. Now that there was the aura of primal chaos, it would probably be even more terrifying. It was unknown to what extent it would evolve to. Lin Xian and the others were looking forward to it. After giving Pan Xiang a mission, Lin Xian left. Pan Xiang turned into an elephant, surrounded by the aura of primal chaos, and continuously plowed the land in the 4-Spirit Valley. He was very diligent. Lin Xian came out once again, preparing to return. Calculating the time, it was about time for the auction to begin. He had to tell Hai Yuan Divine General that he had to buy the Nantian writ before that. The auction had already begun. This time, the Violet Palace took out 13 items from the Heavenly Court. All the major powers arrived one after another. After a few days of preparation, they had already gathered a batch of wealth. There were even people who wanted to join hands in secret. The first item was extraordinary. It was a treasure box with 7 pills inside. The pills of the Heavenly Court were most likely secret pills that had the effects of a god. That was why everyone's eyes turned red at the beginning. The price was shocking. Hai Yuan Divine General and the others also came. They sat in a private room and frowned. It seemed that the attraction of the Heavenly Court's ruins was greater than they had imagined. He said that with the resources we currently have, I'm afraid we can only buy one. But which one? Qian Chen said, that goes without saying. I remember that one of the 13 treasures is a pill furnace, so I definitely have to buy that one. With that pill furnace, he might be able to refine even higher grade pills. However, Divine General Wind Snow said, I remember that there is a flag. Perhaps it has some divine usage. Why don't we shoot that flag? The two sides had different opinions, and the divine general of the ocean abyss and the others also frowned. They wanted to bid for a battle armor because they felt that with this battle armor, they might be able to resist some of the formations in the Heavenly Court ruins. He had to make a decision quickly. This was because the first treasure had already come to an end. It was bought by someone from the Danding School. The Pill Cauldron School's Pill Flame Great Sage and the others also went all out. They took out a shocking price and won 7 pills. When they received it, a smile appeared on their faces. That's great. The pills they wanted were not for consumption, but for research purposes. If they could decipher and restore the pill formula, then they could produce an endless supply of these pills. Their wealth in the future would be unimaginable. Soon, they bid for the chess piece. It was a blue chess piece with extremely mysterious patterns on its surface. Divine General Wind Snow decided to make a move, but Divine General Qian Qin disagreed. Divine General Sea Abyss also hesitated. Don't make a move, just wait and see. This is not the only thing we want. At this moment, the door of the private room opened, and a voice sounded. Who is it? Divine General Wind Snow turned around, and an icy aura instantly erupted. It's me. Space flickered, and the figure disappeared, appearing in another direction. Then, the door of the private room closed. It's you. Divine General Wind Snow was stunned. Divine General Qian Chen's face darkened. Kid, you still dare to come back? Do you know how much trouble you've caused? Kneel down obediently and let us suppress you. Otherwise, don't blame us for being merciless. You dare to touch him? I don't agree. Divine General Sea Abyss stood up. Divine General Yun also said, let's ask first. Maybe it's not Mad God's fault. With that, they turned around and asked, what's going on? Why did you have to make a move? Isn't it good to defeat them? Lin Xian said, there's no choice. That 1,000 transformations young master challenged me time and time again, and in the end, he even joined forces with 4 others to kill me. That scene is the same as the master of the great wilderness. Do you think I can hold back? What, the scene of the master of the great wilderness? Could it be that you found out something? That's right. Lin Xian nodded. Divine General Wind Snow was shocked. No wonder those 5 people wanted to attack Lin Xian. Divine General Qian Qing stood up, hurry up and say it. Lin Xian sneered and looked at him. Oh, you want to suppress me and hand me over to those people? Why, do you still want to make a move now? Divine General Qian Chang's face was cold. Could it be that you want to keep the secret for yourself? Lin Xian sneered, don't think of me as despicable as some people. I didn't say it because I wanted to make a statement. Do you still treat me as one of your own? This was natural. Divine General Hai Yuan and Divine General Yun stood up. They had always supported Lin Xian. Lin Xian didn't doubt this. Lin Xian only looked at Divine General Wind Snow and Divine General Qian Qin. Divine General Wind Snow said, if you attacked because you wanted to protect the secret, then it's understandable. Divine General Qian Qin also snorted coldly. This time, we won't attack you. Lin Xian shook his head. Words are no proof. You guys can swear. You dare to not believe me. Divine General Qian Qin was angry. Lin Xian sneered, you didn't even ask about the situation before and wanted to suppress me. How can I believe you? Either swear. Or I'm going to auction off this secret. You. Qian Chen was angry. Divine General Wind Snow said, I swear on my Tao heart that I will never attack you because of this matter. Lin Xian nodded and looked at Qian Chen. What about you? Divine General Qian Qin gritted his teeth. He had no choice but to swear on his Tao heart. Now you can say it, right? He snorted coldly. Lin Xian looked around again. He set up the array and said. There was a token among the 13 treasures. If he got the token, it would definitely be of great use. Divine General Hai Yuan and Qian Qin were surprised and asked, How do you know? Lin Xian said, I went to the ruins of the Heavenly Court once before. There was a crack inside, so I didn't go in. But I have a secret technique. So I saw some of the scenes inside. He didn't see anything else. He only saw a heavenly gate with dragons flying and phoenixes dancing on it. It was called the Southern Heavenly Gate. The legendary Southern Heavenly Gate. Divine General Wind Snow was shocked, and the others also exclaimed. Qin Hong, Zi Hong, and the others were stunned. It seemed that the myths and legends weren't all fake. Even a sleeping little Zhuang opened his eyes. Chapter 49:12. Everyone was shocked when they heard that. At the same time, they also understood why Lin Xian wanted to obtain the token. The South Heaven Gate, the South Heaven Token. There must be a connection between the two. They decided to bid for the South Heaven Token with all their might. Divine General Hai Yuan and the others made their decision. Next, they waited patiently. One treasure after another appeared in front of them. The eyes of the peerless sects and the clan of the ancients turned red. However, they did not make a move. Finally, when the South Heaven Token appeared, Divine General Hai Yuan made a move. After an intense bidding war. In the end, they obtained the South Heaven Token. Damn it. On the other side, the people from the Thousand Dragon Court looked gloomy. They also felt that the token was extraordinary. There were 2 words on it. Perhaps it was related to the legendary South Heaven Gate. However, they had not seen the South Heaven Gate with their own eyes, so they did not make up their minds. In addition to the previous treasures, they did not have enough wealth to compete for the South Heaven Token. In the end, they missed the opportunity. Great, they got it. Divine General Hai Yuan immediately exchanged for the South Heaven Token. When they got it, they heaved a sigh of relief. After studying it carefully, Divine General Hai Yuan placed the South Heaven Token in the void. Everyone looked over to see if there were any changes. Lin Xian's eyes flickered. He realized that there were extremely complicated array talismans in the South Heaven Token. It was impossible to completely understand it. However, with the South Heaven Token, they might be able to enter the Heavenly Court. Next, they waited patiently for the auction to end. The next few items were eye-opening. There were a total of 13 items. In the end, they were all auctioned off. Of course, not every family or sect could obtain them. Only the top 12 could, because the last item was kept by the Z Mansion sect. It was a scroll. The people of the Z Mansion sect did not open it, so no one knew what was inside. Some people guessed that it might contain the secrets of the Heavenly Court. Or it might be a divine technique of the Heavenly Court. However, the Z Mansion sect would not give it away. In addition, the other sects and families also obtained corresponding treasures, so no one guessed that it was the Z Mansion sect. After the auction ended, everyone dispersed. They were prepared to go to the Heavenly Court ruins to search for opportunities. As Lin Xian and the others were leaving, they were stopped by more than one person. It was the House of Myriad Transformations, the Gold Crow Tribe, and Lord Blood River. "Where's Mad God? Tell him to come here and die." A cold voice rang out, causing one's scalp to go numb. The people who hadn't left yet all stopped. His face was filled with surprise. Sure enough, they came looking for him. The news of Mad God killing 5 experts in a row had spread far and wide. Naturally, they also knew about it. However, while everyone was looking for Mad God, he seemed to have disappeared. This time, the 5 big shots finally blocked the door. It looked like they were going to suppress the other party. The faces of Divine General Hai Yuan and the others sank. What was the meaning of this? The master of all transformations harumphed coldly. The Mad God killed my grandson. I will definitely avenge him. My disciple will not die in vain. Lord Blood River snorted coldly. The Golden Crow clan, the Heaven Battling clan, and even the All-Beginning clan coldly snorted and handed over that brat. I did it because they deserved to die. A cold voice rang out from behind. Everyone turned their heads to look. When they saw the demonic figure, they were all stunned. Heavens, he actually dared to come. Was he Mad God? He was too arrogant. Those were the 5 great leaders. He dared to appear at this time. Did he really think that he could withstand them? Brat, it's you. When the master of all transformations and the others saw Lin Xian, their eyes erupted with extremely cold killing intent. The surrounding void collapsed and the earth cracked. Divine General Hai Yuan snorted coldly and stood out. However, they still looked as if they were facing a great enemy. The Divine General of the Sea Abyss had to take out a shield to block the power. There was no other way. The Master of all transformations and Patriarch Blood River were the peak existences of the Great Sage. They were one realm higher. Lin Xian naturally looked as if he was facing a great enemy. However, he didn't retreat. A dragon's roar rang out from within his body. There was even a black vortex beside him that swallowed this terrifying power. The master of all transformations walked out and stared at Lin Xian coldly. Mad God, you better be obedient and come here to die. Or do you want me to suppress and torture you to death? The others also walked out. Patriarch Blood River sneered. You divine generals, hurry up and leave. I can spare you. If we really fight, the 5 of you won't be enough. I can beat you with one hand. Damn it. Brother Yun and the others gritted their teeth. Did you think that there weren't any peak existences of the Great Sage in our sacred Abyss Tower? So what if there were? Did they come? Patriarch All Beginning snorted coldly. Since they didn't come, there was no difference. Now that there were 2 peak existences of the Great Sage here, do you think you can still escape? With that, Patriarch Blood River stepped out. The blood on his body surrounded the 9 heavens, causing the divine generals to stiffen. They couldn't resist at all. However, at this moment, a terrifying aura erupted from the divine general's body. Divine General Hai Yuan's shield blocked Blood River's attack. Divine General Feng Shui and the others also had magic treasures in their bodies. They broke through the void and roared at the sky. Do you want to be enemies with us? On the other hand, Divine General Chen Chen snorted coldly. I won't interfere in this matter. He stood at the side. He had promised Lin Xian that he wouldn't attack Lin Xian, but it didn't mean that he would help him. It's over. This brat is really dead. Even Crane Zhouxiao, Yan Ling, and the others frowned. If this matter wasn't handled well, a war would break out in advance. They might not even be able to enter the heavenly court. Lin Xian sneered. I killed the 5 of them because they deserved to die. Even if I had another chance and met them again, I would still kill them without hesitation. Lin Xian's voice made the scalps of the surrounding people tingle. This brat didn't kowtow and admit his mistake in such a situation. Instead, he continued to be arrogant. Was he not afraid of death? Brat, what did you say? The Lord of all transformations was furious. A large hand came across the sky. Lin Xian quickly retreated. At the same time, he shouted coldly, "If you kill me, you can forget about entering the heavenly court." Boom boom. An earth-shattering sound rang out. A large spatial crack appeared and swallowed the Lord of all Transformations' attack. "You dare to stop me?" the Lord of all Transformations roared. An elder of the Gu family walked out with his hands behind his back. "What do you mean by that?" He stared at Lin Xian and asked. The others did the same. Could it be that this brat knew how to enter the heavenly court? What a load of nonsense. Even the Lord of the Great Wilderness didn't know. How could he? Blood River snorted coldly. "Stop pretending. You can't fool us." Chapter 49:13. The Lord of all Transformations and the others didn't believe Lin Xian's words at all. They walked up again. Lin Xian snorted and stood with his hands behind his back. "Where's the Lord of the Great Wilderness? What do you want?" Someone from the Purple Mansion asked coldly. The Lord of the Great Wilderness also walked out and stared coldly at Lin Xian. Lin Xian said, "When you escaped from the ruins of the heavenly court, did you see a heavenly gate standing in the sky? Did you see 33 heavens in the distance? One of the third heavens was broken. How did you know?" The Lord of the Great Wilderness was shocked. Although he only saw it from afar, but it was indeed as Lin Xian said. The surrounding people were stunned. What did that mean? The Lord of the Great Wilderness actually agreed with what Lin Xian said. Could it be that he really knew the secret of the heavenly court? For a moment, countless people were in an uproar. The eyes of the Purple Mansion and the Thousand Dragon Court instantly lit up. The Lord of all Flowers' pupils also shrank. Attack! These people attacked crazily, but the experts of the Gu family, Thousand Dragon Court, and Purple Mansion all stopped them. What's the meaning of this? Are you trying to stop us from taking revenge? The Lord of all Transformations snorted. The Lord of Blood River and the others also frowned. The Lord of the Great Wilderness snorted. Those 5 people must be trying to get the secret of the heavenly court. Since they attacked, they must be prepared to die. The Lord of the Great Wilderness had been attacked before, so he naturally knew this anger. The people of the Thousand Dragon Court also snorted. Since they were weaker, they had to accept their fate. The people of the Gu family and Yi family also nodded. Damn it! The people of the Thousand Transformations sect, the Battle Sky clan, and the Golden Crow clan were gritting their teeth. Damn it, they didn't expect this kid to change the situation so drastically. Even Divine General Hai Yuan and the others were stunned. The Mad God had such ability. Divine General Qian Qing was even more stunned. He originally wanted to use the Lord of all Transformations to kill Lin Xian and watch the show from the side. But he didn't expect Lin Xian to survive. And the shocking thing was beyond his expectations. People from the Z government walked out. The Master of the Great Desolation said, "Mad God, I sincerely invite you to come to the Z government. We will provide you with great resources. The Violet Palace Hall can be given to him, the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty can give it to him as long as he brings us into the heavenly court." The people from the 10,000 Dragons Dynasty also laughed. The Yi clan and the Gu clan both stepped forward to extend their invitations. For a moment, everyone was in an uproar. They did not expect Mad God to be favored by so many people. Lin Xian laughed heartily. "Thank you for thinking so highly of me, but I'm very angry today. I want these people to disappear in front of me." After saying that, he looked at the Myriad Transformations ancestor and the others and coldly shouted, "Scram!" These people were relying on the fact that they were late or even peak great sage existences and wanted to suppress him. How could he give them face now? "You! The faces of the master of all transformations and the others instantly darkened. Who were they? When had he ever been scolded by a saint king? The master of the great desolation walked out and said coldly, "Please leave, the Z mansion does not welcome you." The people from the 10,000 Dragons dynasty, the Gu clan, and the Yi clan also walked out. "Everyone, you'd better disappear today. Otherwise, don't blame us for asking you to leave." Damn it. The 5 snobbish people gritted their teeth. Although they were powerful, the people in front of them were all from the Emperor clan except for the Z mansion. Even if the Z mansion was not from the Emperor clan, it was still a supreme existence that existed 70,000 years ago. It was said that it had a close relationship with immortals. If the 4 major powers joined forces, they would not be able to resist at all. Moreover, they came alone. If a battle really broke out, their souls would probably be destroyed. The 5 experts could only grit their teeth. They stared at Lin Xian. "Brat, just you wait." After saying that, the 5 of them left hatefully. He actually left. The 5 giants came with great force, but they could not do anything to a saint king. This mad god was really too heaven-defying. In an instant, all kinds of deeds and reputation about him spread even more widely. The people from the Z mansion rushed over and invited Lin Xian to be a guest. Obviously, they wanted to know more secrets about the heavenly court. Divine General Haiyuan and the others were nervous. Was Mad God going to leave them? Lin Xian smiled. "Don't worry, I know what you all want. How about this? 5 days later, we will go to the heavenly court together. At that time, I will need everyone to work together." "Alright, we will see you in 5 days." After the people from the Z mansion left, the people from the other sects and clans also left. They began to prepare and set off for the heavenly court in 5 days. After everyone left, Divine General Haiyuan brought Lin Xian and the others back to the villa. After returning, he asked, "Do you really know the secrets of the heavenly court?" Divine General Wind Snow also said, "Why didn't you say so before?" Lin Xian smiled. "What can I know? I told them that it was no different from yours. Back then, I took a look and saw the southern heavenly gate. I saw the heavenly court and the 33rd heaven. That is what I saw. Other than that, I don't know anything else." "What?" The divine generals were stunned. The geniuses on the Saint Origin ranking were also dumbfounded. Even Xiao Zhuang was stunned. He asked, "Are you trying to trick him?" Lin Xian said, "You can't call it lying. We have the Southern Sky token. Maybe we can go in. Even if I don't say it, they will definitely fight for it when we take it out. Maybe a war will break out. We only have so few people, we can't fight against so many forces. Why don't we take the initiative to take it out and work with them?" Hearing this, Divine General Qian Chen's face turned black. "Damn brat, if you have this idea, why didn't you say so earlier? This way, we won't have to spend a lot of money to buy the Southern Sky token." Lin Xian glanced at him and shook his head. "Are you stupid? Without the Southern Sky token, what bargaining chips do you have to negotiate with them? This is not your territory. You..." Divine General Qian Chen was so angry that he vomited blood. How dare he call him stupid? Divine General Wind Snow and the others nodded. Yes, the Southern Sky token is in their hands. That's why they have enough trump cards to negotiate with them. They were shocked. Did Mad God plan this from the beginning? Divine General Hai Yuan said. "Aren't you afraid that the Lord of all transformations will suddenly attack and kill you?" Lin Xian smiled. "No, I'm not." His body gradually turned into a law. "This is just a clone. If he dares to attack, I will let Zifu and the others kill them." Divine General Hai Yuan and the others gasped. Even a clone is prepared. That means that even if the 5 giants attacked, they wouldn't be able to hurt Lin Xian's real body. Where is your real body? Divine General Wind Snow asked. Lin Xian will appear in 5 days. Divine General Hai Yuan looked around. Alright, we got it. Let's start cultivating and get into peak condition. Chapter 49:14. 5 days passed by in the blink of an eye. On this day, the entire Taiqing ancient city set off for the heavenly court. Lin Xian also soared into the sky. Finally, they arrived. There were already countless people waiting in front of them. The most dazzling ones were the Z Mansion, Thousand Dragon Court, Gu family, and Yi family. Other than them, the other ancient families and peerless sects were also there. The 5 giants who had caused trouble for Lin Xian did not appear. It was unknown if they had hidden themselves. Lin Xian could not be bothered with them. The Desolation Lord and Draconic Lord walked over and asked, Mad God, what's your plan? You can tell us now, right? Lin Xian nodded. Then, he called a few divine generals over and discussed with them. The divine general of the Ocean Abyss said, the token we bought is called the Southern Sky Token. It can be used to communicate with the Southern Sky Gate. This is a chance to enter the heavenly court. What, the Southern Sky Token? Countless people were in an uproar. They recalled that there was indeed a token among the 13 treasures that were auctioned. Was that the legendary Southern Sky Token? The Thousand Dragon Court's Dragon Reflection Lord's pupils constricted. He felt that the token was extraordinary and wanted to buy it. However, he did not have enough wealth. He did not expect it to be so important. Since that was the case, there was no time to lose. The Yi family's expert said. The divine general of the Ocean Abyss and the others nodded. They held the Southern Sky Token and stood at the front. Then, they said that they needed everyone's power. There was no problem. The Gu family's expert walked out. Then, the other experts walked out and formed a formation to provide them with power. The divine general of the Ocean Abyss held the Southern Sky Token and activated it. The great Tao on it rushed out and flew forward. The void split open and the aura rushed out. Everyone felt a primordial power rush out as if it had crossed through time and space. It was really useful. The surrounding people were excited when they saw this. It was not enough. They needed more power. Everyone, stop hiding. Otherwise, no one would be able to enter. The divine general of the Wind Snow shouted. The others used their power again. At the same time, more people took action. They knew that without the Southern Sky Token, they would not be able to enter. The entire world shook violently, and the abandoned illusion of the heavenly court became clearer. Everyone saw that the clouds seemed to have dispersed, revealing a heavenly gate standing before them. The heavenly gate was magnificent. One pillar after another stood tall, with dragons and phoenixes painted on its surface. Suddenly, their pupils shrank, because they found that there seemed to be a figure standing at the gate of heaven. Someone was inside the southern heavenly gate. There was actually someone here. Who the hell is it? He attacked with all his might. The overlord of the Grand Desolation roared in rage. The others moved out in a frenzy. At this moment, the illusory figure became clearer and clearer. Suddenly, Lin Xian was also shocked. Damn it, why did that guy look so much like Heishan? The Lord of the Great Wilderness, Lord of the Dragon Creation, and the others also burst out with extremely intense radiance from their eyes, piercing through heaven and earth as they looked ahead. However, in an instant, the shadow in front of him disappeared. The southern heavenly gate stood there, emitting a desolate aura. The figure was nowhere to be seen. What happened? Did he disappear? Several top-notch experts frowned. The others were also in an uproar. Someone said that it might be an illusion. Perhaps. Everyone nodded. After all, that thing never appeared again. Lin Xian narrowed his eyes. He should be sure that it was Heishan now. After all, the other party looked very similar to Heishan. Furthermore, Heishan had the Sky Lantern, and was the successor of the Heavenly Court. If there was someone who could enter earlier than them, it would definitely be Heishan. This guy, I thought he wouldn't come, but he still came. Lin Xian smiled. When the time came, he could cooperate with Heishan. Finally, all the clouds disappeared, and everyone felt that an independent space had appeared before them. They could enter. The Gu family's expert sensed for a while, then waved his hand. The void in front of them fluctuated, and a whirlpool gate appeared. Let's go. Figures walked in one after another. Not only the older generation's experts and super mighty figures, but the young geniuses also entered. This was an opportunity. The Southern Heavenly Gate was a mythical existence. Now that it appeared here, there might be a heaven-defying opportunity. Let's go. Heavenly General Hai Yuan and the others waved their hands, and Lin Xian, Ping Wanli, and the others followed. In the next moment, they entered and felt an even more desolate aura that made their scalps go numb. The space was vast, but no one dared to move forward after entering. Some people said to go quickly. They could only enter the true Heavenly Court after crossing the Southern Heavenly Gate. In an instant, some people turned into streams of light and rushed over. But in the next moment, they were sent flying back while vomiting blood. 2 of the older generation's experts fell to the ground with pale faces. 4 of the younger generation's bodies turned into blood mist. Damn it, what's going on? Everyone was stunned. Was there a peerless killing array? They were shocked beyond words. Lin Xian frowned, and his eyes flickered. At this moment, the master of the Great Wilderness, master of the Long family, Gu family, and Yi family all turned their heads. Fellow Daoist from the Sacred Origin Tower, please lend me the Southern Heavenly Token. Heavenly General Hai Yuan and the others took a deep breath and walked over with the Southern Heavenly Token. Everyone gave them strength, but in the next moment, they were sent flying back. Even the surface of the South Heaven command plate dimmed. No, the Southern Heavenly Token seemed to be able to enter, but to cross the Southern Heavenly Gate, they needed another method. What's going on? They all looked at the 2 older generation's experts. The 2 older generation's experts vomited blood and recounted what they had experienced. The others were shocked. It turned out that when the 2 older generation's experts rushed forward and crossed the Southern Heavenly Gate, they saw an indomitable giant. The giant was wearing a divine armor and punched at them. The 2 were unable to withstand the force and were sent flying while vomiting blood. The giant was wearing a divine armor and punched at them. The surrounding people were stunned. They did not see it at all. Even the peerless experts frowned. Was it an illusion? The master of the Great Wilderness and master of the Long family stared at Lin Xian. They said, "Mad God, you should know the secret of this place. Why don't you go first?" Everyone looked over. Heavenly General Hai Yuan and the others' expressions changed. Not good, they had already heard from Lin Xian that Lin Xian did not know the so-called secret. What they did previously was to use these people to fight against the 5 giants. If they let Lin Xian go now, it would be very dangerous. Lin Xian's expression was solemn, but he knew he could not back down. If he angered these peerless experts, they would probably take action immediately. Therefore, he nodded and walked out. I'll be the first to ascend the Southern Heavenly Gate. Since the Black Mountain appeared here, it meant that there must be a way to pass through. Although he did not cultivate the heavenly court's techniques, he had the heaven-devouring jar. Furthermore, he had heard it from the two older generation's experts. Chapter 49:15. Thinking of this, Lin Xian walked forward. The moment he stepped through the southern heaven gate, he realized that the scene in front of him had changed. An indomitable giant clad in divine armor threw a punch at him. A vast and majestic power surged, terrifying everyone. No wonder those people couldn't block this punch. It was too terrifying. It could make one's soul tremble and make one want to kneel on the ground. It was ridiculously strong. Lin Xian was shocked, but he quickly calmed down. He had fought all the way and had seen all kinds of things. Although the fist in front of him was terrifying, he wasn't afraid. He felt that this should be an illusion, a test for him. Kill! With a roar, he punched out. The black fist transformed into 6 worlds that danced between heaven and earth. Thunder filled the sky as the 6-path fist surged. A monstrous punch. Lin Xian's fist and the fist of the armored giant collided. A vast ocean appeared around them as the power swept through the 9 heavens. Buzz! Lin Xian's body passed through the other party's fist and walked through the southern heaven gate. He suddenly turned around and realized that the illusion of the armored giant was gradually disappearing. Did he pass? He took a deep breath. The people outside were shocked when they saw this scene. He passed through. Heavens, how did he do it? Exclamations sounded one after another. The 2 experts who had failed previously were dumbfounded. Facing the punch of the armored giant, this guy could actually block it. It was too unbelievable. Mad God, what's going on? Hurry up and say it. The dragon sovereign roared. The eyes of the 1,000 Dragons dynasty and the others turned red. Lin Xian turned around and said plainly. The 2 seniors were right. With the giant in the armor, this was a kind of test. Those who could block it passed, and those who couldn't were eliminated. After all, the Southern Heaven Gate was a legendary existence. Not everyone could climb it. It was actually a test. Was it true? Was this kid lying to us? Did he have a special way to deal with it? One after another, voices sounded. Obviously, they didn't fully believe it. At this moment, someone stood up. I'll do it. Another person from the Sacred Origin Tower was Peng Wanli. He used the Great Ping's spreading wings and quickly flew over. When he reached the southern heavenly gate, he saw the same illusion as before. He subconsciously wanted to retreat, but he quickly reacted. This was a test. There was nothing to fear. Kill! He rushed over. Finally, he passed through the southern heavenly gate and ascended. Great, I did it, I succeeded. Peng Wanli raised his head and roared. Lin Xian looked at the other party and nodded. As expected of a member of the Heavenly Rock clan. This fellow was indeed an expert. His courage was commendable. He nodded slightly at the other party. Another one succeeded. It didn't seem to be a trap. Hurry up and attack. Everyone else followed suit. All of a sudden, countless people ascended the southern heaven gate. The next moment, they saw a punch coming. This punch could surpass the gods. No! Some people were frightened and flew backwards while vomiting blood. Some people were so frightened that they knelt on the ground. There were also people who responded forcefully. Lin Xian was right. The legendary mythical land was not a place that anyone could enter. 90% of the people who came were beaten out, and only 10% could successfully pass. However, there were truly too many people. Even though it was only 10%, it was still enough to make one's scalp go numb with a single glance. Lin Xian's people had all passed. On the other side, the people from the Thousand Dragons Court and the Purple Mansion also passed. There were people from the great sects and sects who passed, but of course, more people were eliminated. They could only stand outside the southern heavenly gate and watch this scene with despair. They would probably never have a chance in their lives. Let's go. Lin Xian and the others no longer paid attention to those who failed. They turned around and walked inside. Even the southern heavenly gate had appeared. Would the Lingshao Hall appear? Also, was that the 33-story building the legendary 33 levels of heaven? The deeper they walked, the more desolate it became. There were clouds under their feet, as if they had really arrived at the mythical era. That aura terrified them. Gradually, some people could not take it anymore. Some people's bodies cracked, and some people vomited blood. No, I can't walk anymore, Elder. Grandpa, save me. They were terrified. Those experts all used their saint domains to envelop these people. Only then were these people able to continue forward. Lin Xian also felt a chill down his spine. Fortunately, the 4 divine generals beside him worked together to use their saint domains to protect them. After walking for a long time, they frowned. What was going on? Why couldn't they reach the 33 levels of heaven in front of them? Where was the Lingshao Hall? Lin Xian's eyes emitted a terrifying light as he looked through the sky. The others were also using their saint domains. Some people had strange laws in their eyes, while others took out formations. Everyone was investigating. At this moment, the Gu family's super mighty figure sighed. The 33 levels of heaven seemed to be just an illusion and did not really exist. What illusion? It was impossible. Even the southern heavenly gate had it. How could the 33 levels of heaven not have it? The Yi family's unparalleled expert sighed. It was not that they did not exist, but that they were not here. Now, it seemed that the heavenly court back then had been separated. There had been ruins of the heavenly court before, and now another one had appeared. Who knew if it would appear again in the future? Perhaps the 33 levels of heaven were in other ruins, but there did not seem to be any here. Could it be that this was all an illusion? The people of the Purple Mansion frowned. Apart from the southern heavenly gate, what else was real? The people of the 10,000 Dragon Court also frowned. The others were also in an uproar. It couldn't be, right? If there was only one southern heavenly gate, then what treasures were there? Who dared to trespass into the 12 Dao palaces? With a roar, everyone's souls trembled. What were the 12 Dao palaces? Some people were puzzled. The people of the Purple Mansion sucked in a breath of cold air. Old Zhang of the Purple Mansion said, "Are the legendary 12 Dao palaces here? Great, there must be countless treasures here." Everyone guessed that it must be an incredible existence. But where were the 12 Dao palaces? They discovered that there seemed to be a golden palace in front of them. Its aura was majestic and extraordinary. Was this the legendary 12 Dao palaces? Let's go. The group of people went forward. Countless figures appeared in the surroundings. They wore divine armor and held swords and sabers. Their auras were piercingly cold. They stood there and roared. "If you want to pass the 12 Dao palaces, you have to ask us heavenly soldiers first." Boom! At that moment, the ground trembled again. A giant wearing divine armor walked over. With the heaven-splitting axe in his hand, he stood tall. Everyone was not even as big as his foot. He stood there and roared at the sky. Then, he chopped down with his axe like a tsunami. Everyone realized that this time, it did not seem to be an illusion. Damn it! Who were these people? Were there still people alive in the heavenly court? That was impossible. It was said that the heavenly court had existed for a very long time. It had been destroyed many times, but it had been restored each time. The most recent time was 50,000 years ago. Did these people survive 50,000 years ago? Chapter 49:16. The appearance of the Tao Palace and the celestial soldiers shocked everyone. Everyone's eyes turned red. There must be treasures ahead. Charge! They immediately charged forward. However, they underestimated the power of the celestial soldiers and celestial generals. In an instant, they all vomited blood and flew back. In fact, even the great saint's body was torn to pieces. Damn it, how could they be so strong? The armored giant was even more terrifying. With a punch, even the super mighty figures were forced back. Their pupils constricted. Who was this? A puppet? The Purple Mansion cultivator gritted his teeth. It seemed that they had to work together. Those at the peak of the great sage rushed out and attacked the armored giant. Those at the late and early stages of the great sage attacked the celestial soldiers and celestial generals. As for the others, they couldn't help here. The cultivators at the front shouted angrily, "We'll hold back the celestial soldiers and celestial generals. You guys hurry to the Tao Palace. There are treasures inside. Take them back." Hearing this, the remaining people began to move. Most of them were young geniuses. Of course, there were some people from the younger generation and even some from the older generation, but there were very few of them. Especially when they entered the Tao Palace, the great sage cultivators screamed and retreated. They couldn't enter at all. The others heaved a sigh of relief when they saw this. Only those at the early stages of the great sage and the holy kings could enter. It seemed that it wouldn't be too dangerous inside. The divine general of the ocean abyss and the others also transmitted their voices to Lin Xian, telling them to be careful. Lin Xian and the others nodded. Now they finally knew why the divine generals had brought them here. It was because of the restriction of cultivation. Since the divine generals couldn't enter, they could only rely on themselves. The group walked in. After entering, everyone was shocked. It was vast inside, as if it was a world. They looked up and saw stars twinkling in the sky. It was boundless. Was this really just a palace? The celestial court's methods were truly heaven-defying. The group spread out, each on guard. At the same time, they quickly searched around. Soon, someone exclaimed that there were weapons. Someone picked up a broken sword. It was rusty, but it emitted a terrifying aura. Attack! The others saw this and immediately attacked. These weapons might contain the great Tao. If they could comprehend it, they would benefit greatly. In an instant, a great battle broke out. It was not only that place. Shattered weapons could be seen all over the place. Some of those weapons radiated divine might, while others were covered in rust. However, without exception, all of them had the great Tao interwoven within them. Everyone quickly made their moves. Lin Xian ignored him. His eyes flickered as he quickly set off with the group of people from Sacred Origin Tower. "Kid, where are you taking us?" The Flying Corpse King said coldly. Zhu Lai was also dissatisfied. Lin Xian said, "I'm not leading you. If you want to leave, go ahead. I want to take a look inside." I won't be with you." The Flying Corpse King and the others snorted and left one after another. On the other side, Ping Wanli and the others also said, "Then let's go our separate ways first. If there's any danger, let us know. We will provide support." With that, he left with Xiao Zhuang and the others. Only Lin Xian, Xue Qi, Qing Hong, Zi Hong, and Yan Ling were left. Lin Xian looked at them. You guys can act as well. I want to act alone. With a tap of his foot, he flew forward with Xueqi following behind him. Qing Hong snorted. How arrogant. If they fought alone, they would be at a disadvantage. In fact, they were not the only ones. Some of the other people also formed small teams and searched around. Some of them acted alone. These were all very strong. However, most of them were united. They were all based on their families and sections. In addition to the people from Taiqing Ancient City, there were also many people from Holy Abyss Ancient City. There were people from the Holy Abyss Tower, the three great orthodoxies, the clan of the ancients, and the great sections. On the Dao side, there were many people from the Dragon Palace, including Nangu. The people from the Divine Union did not come because Lin Xian asked them to cultivate properly. There were also people from the Sky Sect and Earth Sect. Yi Wudao, Guangming, and the others had also come. Even Bingling, the Overlord, and the others had arrived. These people acted aggressively and began to fight for the weapon fragments. A palm split open in the void and split the heads of a few geniuses. Then, it took away the 3 weapon fragments and disappeared quickly. Damn it, it was a spatial ability. It was the people from the Gu family. When the others saw this, they retreated in fear. They retreated one after another. Gu Feng's figure appeared. He looked around and snorted coldly. A bunch of trash. At this moment, he turned his head and saw a figure surrounded by light. This person's light was very faint. He was wearing a loose robe and was very low-key. However, Gu Feng frowned. Yao Guang, you are really haunting me. Why? Do you want to attack me? Gu Feng's eyes emitted a cold radiance. Yao Guang smiled and kept the corpses of those people. He smiled and said, there's no point in attacking. I like to collect the strength of others. Let's work together. What do you want to do? Gu Feng asked. Yao Guang said, I want the corpses and you want the weapons. Let's not clash. Okay. Gu Feng nodded. The two of them had reached a temporary agreement. On the other side, Xueqi asked, where are we going? Lin Xian and the others left. However, they only brought Xueqi with them. He said, let's go inside. The treasures outside are not worth our effort. Boss. At this moment, someone charged over from the front. More than a dozen figures surrounded him. Lad, let's see how you can run now. Do you think that you are safe because you have the Purple Mansion and the Myriad Dragons Empire protecting you? Today is the day you die. Cold voices rang out one after another. These people were the people of the 5 great heads. They had been waiting for an opportunity, and now, they had finally arrived. You are really stupid. The Myriad Transformations Gates experts walked out. If you were with the people of the Sacred Abyss Tower, it would be difficult for us to attack you. However, you are so arrogant. You set off with only 2 people. Let me send you off. The people of the Golden Crow clan laughed and looked at Xueqi. They laughed and said, this beauty is pretty good. Lad, after you die, I will take good care of her for you. Attack! With a furious roar, the people of the 5 magnates quickly attacked. Lin Xian sneered coldly. Do you want to die? I will fulfill your wish. He looked at Xueqi and said, don't hold back. Okay, I got it. Xueqi nodded, and a terrifying ice energy appeared around her body. At this moment, the 9 Yang Divine Body and 9 Yin Divine Body appeared together. The people in front of them sneered coldly. 2 people wanted to fight against them. What a joke. They were all top-notch experts and geniuses. If more than 10 people joined hands, killing them would be as easy as flipping their palms. Kill. In an instant, they rushed over. Xueqi and Lin Xian's bodies also erupted with power. Their divine bodies were inextricably linked, and now that they appeared together, it was terrifying. Chapter 49:17. The two divine bodies unleashed their power at the same time, and both of them were stronger than before. The dozen or so experts in the front had a cold smile on their faces, but their expressions changed in an instant. Damn it! Why are they so strong? Awful. There's something fishy about these two people. Let's leave quickly. As soon as those people exchanged blows, they were injured and spat out blood. Lin Xian sneered coldly. Since you have come here, don't leave. He attacked them forcefully, and his body was engulfed by terrifying flames. As for Xueqi, the sky was filled with ice and frost, and in the end, the dozen or so people were killed. The battle here alarmed the people in the distance, and they all came over to investigate. Then, they saw such a scene. They all felt their blood run cold. These two people were a little too ridiculous. How could they be so strong? Many people wore frightened looks, and some powerful experts' eyes shone with a cold radiance. It seemed like these two people were peerless enemies. They must be careful when they meet them in the future. Lin Xian looked around and snorted coldly. He then turned around and continued forward. After he flew for a short distance, Lin Xian stopped and furrowed his brows. Xueqi asked, "What's wrong?" Lin Xian said, "There's a formation here, and I sensed an unusual aura. Be careful." As he spoke, he walked forward. When he took his third step, a radiance flickered in front of him, and a terrifying roar reverberated throughout the land. What's that? The expressions of the people in the vicinity, who were looking for treasures, changed when they heard this roar. This is the roar of a demonic beast. Did a demonic beast come here? It can't be. It's normal for demonic beasts to come here, but this roar can only be emitted by some super experts. But those people should have been blocked outside. Let's go and take a look. One after another, people quickly moved forward. Lin Xian, who was in the front, also felt his blood boil. He was forced back, and his face became pale. Are you all right? Xueqi was worried. Lin Xian shook his head. He was fine, and he just suffered a loss because he was careless. He used the immortal art to quickly heal his injuries, and a cold radiance shone from his eyes. His golden gaze, which could penetrate the land. What's this? Lin Xian was startled, as he saw the image of a lion. The lion's entire body was golden, as if it was made of gold. It appeared in front of them and quickly walked over. Every step made no sound, but there was endless great Tao interweaving, emitting an extremely terrifying aura. Roar! The lion rushed over and roared at the sky. With a trace of fearless strength. Lin Xian frowned, then snorted coldly and waved his hand, sending out a powerful force. 6 Tao Fist. The power of reincarnation surged. With a single punch, the golden lion was sent flying. The golden lion turned into a ray of light and disappeared. Then, it drilled into Lin Xian's arm. What's going on? Lin Xian was startled, but in the next moment, he was overjoyed because he realized that it was a power that could be absorbed by her. Kid, what did you get? Someone rushed over from behind, and upon seeing this sight, he bellowed furiously. Lin Xian turned around and saw a figure standing in the air behind him, surrounded by strong winds. He recognized Feng Shaoqing. Not only was he from the Wind clan, he was also from the Z Mansion. He sneered and refused to answer. Are you looking down on me? Feng Shaoqing hollered in rage. He was a genius 5,000 years ago, and now that he had awakened, his strength had soared. He had already reached the great sage realm. At this moment, he waved his hand and many cracks spread out, bringing with them the power of the wind. Lin Xian didn't even turn his head. He stomped his feet and terrifying demonic energy interweaved, turning into black lightning that blocked his attack. Feng Shaoqing was forced back, and his expression became solemn. What was going on? More people came. One of them was like lightning, and the other had the power to suppress heaven and earth. They were both geniuses who had awakened from a few thousand years ago. Time-passing water, Saint Sky suppression. They were all from the Z Mansion. Apart from them, the other experts also rushed over one after another. Feng Shaoqing pointed at Lin Xian and said, "I saw a golden light enter his body, so it must be some treasure." The others were shocked by such a thing. An expert from the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty walked out and said coldly, "Mad God, take out what you got." His words carried a hint of command. In his opinion, the reason why Lin Xian was able to survive until now was because of the protection of the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty. Otherwise, the 5 giants would have suppressed him long ago. Lin Xian glanced at him and sneered. "Are you ordering me? Who do you think you are?" Scram. The expert from the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty was furious. He was so angry that his body trembled. "Kid, are you challenging me?" His body emitted an extremely terrifying purple light and turned into a giant dragon that roared at the sky. "It seems that you don't know the immensity of heaven and earth. Let me teach you a lesson." He slapped out with his palm, and it was like a giant purple dragon that stretched out its dragon claws, covering the sky and earth. Lin Xian snorted coldly and shot out the light of the demon god. It turned into heaven and earth, enveloping and sealing the purple dragon. The two collided, and the void shattered. "You don't have the right to teach me a lesson." "Damn it." The purple dragon from the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty had an ugly expression. At the same time, people from the Sacred Abyss Tower rushed over. They were shocked. Qing Hong asked, "What's going on with the mad god?" Lin Xian glanced at his companions and said indifferently, "Just now, a phantom attacked me and was shattered by me. So, it turned into energy and entered my body. There's a formation ahead, and there might be more. Be careful." After saying that, he walked forward. Xueqi followed beside him. "It's another formation." Suddenly, another earth-shattering roar sounded. It turned into a golden lion that covered the sky and earth. Lin Xian used the 6-path fish to shatter it, turning it into a golden light that merged into his palm. "Did you see that?" He waved his hand behind him. The people around him were shocked. "So that's how it is. Let's go too." For a moment, they all walked forward. The formation in front of them seemed to have been activated. Roars rang out one after another, resounding through the sky. Zilong shot out a terrifying phantom and killed the golden lion in front of him. He also felt a golden light enter his body. His expression changed, and he became excited. "Great, I feel a force that can be absorbed. Kill." He rushed to the left. The others did the same. However, although Lin Xian easily dealt with the golden lion was very terrifying. Someone was immediately sent flying. His body was shattered, and blood flowed everywhere. "Damn it, why is he so strong? I thought it would be easy to see that guy shatter it with a punch." These people's expressions became unsightly. The Flying Corpse King looked at these people and sneered. "Stupid things, how dare you come here if you don't have such strength? Get lost. How dare you look down on us?" The two people were furious and charged over, but they were sent flying by the Flying Corpse King. The Flying Corpse King grabbed their souls and sneered, "I'll refine you into corpses." Endless death energy rushed out of his body and enveloped the two people. The two people were terrified, but they soon stopped breathing and turned into two zombies that followed beside him. Chapter 49:18. These powerhouses continued to advance, and at the same time, people continued to retreat. Moreover, they realized that the further they went, the stronger the golden lions that appeared. In the end, everyone's speed became very slow. Even those top-notch experts had stopped. Lin Xian also stopped. He had already shattered 24 golden lions and obtained 24 rays of light that merged into his body. It allowed his power to increase. At the same time, he felt that there seemed to be some god's imprint in his mind. These golden lions seemed to be using a unique divine ability. Lin Xian recalled carefully and discovered something. However, it was too vague and unclear. It seemed that there were too few golden lions attacking. If there were more, it might be possible. The other powerhouses naturally also discovered something. Reaching level 24 was already extremely difficult. Any further and it would be extremely powerful. Even Lin Xian would have to exchange over 100 moves before he could win. Roar! Those who could stay here were all top powerhouses. At this moment, an earth-shattering roar came from the front. It was a golden lion that walked out. The light on the golden lion's face was even more terrifying. It even carried a divine aura. Its aura was not ordinary. Lin Xian and the others looked solemn. Moreover, everyone realized that there was only one this time. How were they going to fight? Everyone wanted to fight, but no one dared to act rashly. The people behind had already stopped. It was not that they did not want to go, but they did not have the strength. Some people wanted to risk everything and force their way forward, but they were instantly killed. After dozens of top geniuses died, the surrounding people were afraid. If they did not have the strength to go, they would be courting death. Damn it! Feng Shaoqing saw the golden lion rushing forward. He shouted coldly and used the wind spirit saber technique. The terrifying saber light split the world. The golden lion kept swaying. Although it was huge, its speed was extremely fast. In an instant, it was in front of Feng Shaoqing. Then, it grabbed and slapped at him with an earth-shattering aura. It was like a peerless divine palm. Feng Shaoqing's pupils constricted. He was careless. This one was too powerful. He wanted to retreat, but it was too late. He was sent flying by the palm. Half of his body was shattered, and his internal organs were turned into ashes. Damn it! He fell to the ground and screamed. Stupid human! You overestimate yourself. A cold voice sounded. The surrounding people were all shocked. This golden lion could even open its mouth to speak. It was too unordinary. Roar! The golden lion in front of him roared at the sky, unleashing its roar divine technique. Not good, retreat quickly. Everyone's blood was boiling. The people at the front were frantically retreating, while the people at the back were at a loss. They discovered that the sound only covered a certain area. As long as they left that area, they would not be attacked. Lin Xian coldly snorted. He stomped his foot and slashed out like a peerless demonic blade. He waved his hands and tore apart the void, charging forward with great force. Boundless ice appeared next to Xue Qi, and it froze all of these voices. She also walked over. Apart from them, the others also made their moves. This was also a test. If they couldn't withstand this sound, they probably wouldn't be able to advance any further. In the previous attack, they had all absorbed the power of gold, and their strength had increased. Now, they were displaying their full strength. In the end, 60 people successfully passed. They walked out of the lion's roar and came to the front. The golden lion looked at these people and nodded. The people who came this time were not bad. Follow me. Then, he turned around and walked forward. Lin Xian and the others took a deep breath and quickly followed him. They ran all the way. They came to the depths of the Doctrine Palace. The Golden Lion King in front of them stopped. He knelt on the ground respectfully, as if he was worshipping something. Lin Xian and the others behind him were shocked. They saw that there was a golden coffin in front of them. It had an extraordinary aura, and it emitted a mysterious aura. Countless people were shocked. They didn't know who was buried in this golden coffin. Lin Xian was even more shocked. This was because he seemed to have seen this golden coffin before. He had once found a golden coffin in the second astral plane's secret realm. At that time, he had found the toad there. Lin Xian remembered that a woman was buried in that golden coffin. She had a human body and a snake's tail, and she was extremely mysterious. She was even called the Queen by the toad. Lin Xian was shocked to see such a similar golden coffin again. It seemed like both sides belonged to the same camp. Was that mysterious woman also from the heavenly court? At the same time, could the person buried in the golden coffin be related to the lion? What were the 12 Doctrine Palaces? Were there 12 powerhouses buried? Lin Xian didn't know. At this moment, the Golden Lion King in front turned his head and said loudly, "Trial takers, you will receive a test. If you can successfully pass the test, then we will teach you the Heavenly Court's supreme technique, the Fearless Lion Seal." Hearing this, many people exclaimed. The legendary Fearless Lion Seal. Could it be that the Golden Lion King was buried here? That was a legendary powerhouse with a mysterious origin and a heaven-defying bloodline. He was actually buried here. Those people had heard of the Fearless Lion Seal before. What kind of test did they have to pass? Zilong, an expert from the 10,000 Dragon Court, asked in a deep voice. The eyes of the others also flickered. The Golden Lion King in front said. First, luck. Second, strength. Luck. Zilong frowned. How was this a test? The Golden Lion laughed. With a wave of its hand, heaven and earth shook. Endless spatial cracks appeared, devouring quite a few people. Not good. Someone exclaimed and wanted to dodge, but he was instantly teleported out. Damn it! Roars rang out one after another. Half of the 60 people were teleported out, leaving only 30. The remaining people were terrified and their scalps went numb. Was this the so-called luck? If they were unlucky, they would be teleported out. Zilong's body also turned cold, but he soon smiled. If he wasn't teleported out, it meant that his luck was very good. Lin Xian frowned slightly. Xueqi, who was beside him, had been teleported away. When she left, Xueqi said, "Husband, it's up to you now. I'm afraid I won't be so lucky." Was it really random? Lin Xian was shocked. He turned around and found that his friends were also gone. Yi Wudao and Gu Feng weren't there. Were they unlucky? Lin Xian felt that something was wrong. He guessed that the two of them should have cultivated the imperial scripture, which was why they were teleported away. Outside, the 30 people were teleported out. Many of them cursed. Damn it, why was my luck so bad? Gu Feng's face was cold. He wanted to use his spatial divine ability to kill his way back. Yi Wudao, who was beside him, said calmly, "Don't go. You and I have the imperial scripture. It might conflict with the heavenly court's ultimate techniques. If you force your way over, aren't you afraid that the peerless formation here will kill you? Chapter 49:19. In the end, Gu Feng snorted coldly and did not continue forward. Instead, he went to other places to look for opportunities. Although he had the Imperial Sutra, who would complain about having too many trump cards? But now, it seemed that it was impossible to learn the Fearless Lion Seal. He could only improve his cultivation and Great Dao laws. Yi Wudao was the same. He turned around and left. The others, on the other hand, were still waiting unwillingly. In front of the golden coffin, there were only 30 figures left. The golden lion stomped his foot again. The ground cracked open, and another 8 figures appeared. The 8 figures were like statues, and they were all lions. However, according to the order, each statue had one more lion head, from 1 to 9. The aura on their faces was also getting more and more terrifying. You can withstand my lion roar, but let's see if you can withstand the next lion roar. Every time you pass, you will obtain a part of the cultivation method of the Fearless Lion Seal. If you pass all of them, you will be able to learn the complete Fearless Lion Seal. As soon as these words came out, everyone took a deep breath. It seemed to be a difficult test, but they were not afraid. Zilong was the first to walk out. His strength was unparalleled, so he was prepared to take the test. The others watched patiently. Well, let Zilong test it out. They could also use this to infer what their success rate was. Zilong was very strong. After blocking the 2-headed lion, he blocked the 3rd, 4th, and so on. When he reached the 5th lion, he was beaten out. He retreated and vomited blood. His expression became ugly. Damn it! He roared. You lost your chance. Zilong wanted to go forward, but the golden lion said coldly, causing him to stop. The others were also in an uproar. There was only one chance. The golden lion said that there was only one chance. Unless someone had good results in the test, he could challenge that person. If he won, he could take his opportunity. There was only one chance for such a challenge. Hearing this, the surrounding people sucked in a breath of cold air. This was really cruel. Zhu Long walked over and asked, "What did you feel just now?" There was only a physical attack. Was there a soul attack? Zilong's face was cold, but he still said it. After all, the other party was also from the Torch Dragon clan. The dragons were still willing to join forces. Zhu Long nodded after hearing this. He felt a trace of confidence. He felt that he should be able to surpass the 5th. However, he still waited. 2 more people came forward, and in the end, they were not even as good as Zilong. One was defeated at the 3rd statue, while the other was defeated at the 4th statue. Zhu Long could not wait any longer and walked forward. He had been defeated at the 6th stone statue. His results were better than Zilong's, but that was already his limit. Zhu Long didn't say anything else. His companion, the Flying Corpse King, was sent out. He looked at Lin Xian, Xiao Zhuang, Peng Wanli, and the others and coldly snorted. Although they all came from the Sacred Abyss Tower, he wouldn't impart any of his experiences to them. Let me do it. Tyrant walked out. The people around them were surprised. They must be from the tyrants. These people's physiques were extremely terrifying. This overlord was also extremely famous. How many statues would he be able to walk past? In the end, he also stopped at the 6th statue. Could it be that no one could reach the 7th statue? 20 people had finished participating, and the highest result was the 6th statue. There were still 10 people left. Everyone was in despair. Among the remaining 10 people, there were not many who had any strength left. At this moment, Xiao Zhuang walked over. He opened his sleepy eyes, yawned, and walked forward. Was this guy still asleep? Shang Tianzhen snorted. The others also laughed. He looked so unreliable. They guessed that he would be defeated at the second statue. However, to everyone's surprise, Xiao Zhuang passed 5 statues in a row and was about to continue to the 6th. Everyone became nervous. Lin Xian narrowed his eyes. This Xiao Zhuang was indeed amazing. It could even be said that he was unfathomable. He didn't know if Xiao Zhuang could pass, but he was also looking forward to it. How was that possible? Zhu Long snorted. On the other side, Tyrant wasn't too sure either. However, Xiao Zhuang actually broke through. He went to the 7th statue. Damn it, how did he do it? Zhu Long was shocked. Zi Long and the others also narrowed their eyes. This person's strength was not ordinary. No, someone shook his head. He seemed to be a soul mastery expert. I've heard of him. Logically speaking, his physique shouldn't be so strong. How did he do it? Could it be that the factors in the assessment weren't necessarily physique and soul, but something else? For a moment, everyone was discussing. Xiao Zhuang also went to the 7th statue. He came to the 8th statue. Everyone was stunned and even became nervous. Was this guy going to succeed in obtaining the seal of the Fearless Lion? However, Xiao Zhuang finally retreated at the 8th statue. He sighed. Forget it, he couldn't force it. He was very open-minded. This guy was the one who had gone the furthest. Countless people were shocked and looked at him with red eyes. Although he didn't pass completely, he definitely had more information than them. When the time came, he might even be able to use this incomplete divine ability. In my opinion, other than strength, there's also luck. Didn't I say before that this test is strength and luck? It's not just luck in teleportation, but also in the assessment. Zi Long walked out and said coldly, I want to challenge him. He originally had a chance to challenge him, and he was prepared to use it now. Sure. The golden lion stomped its foot and the ground cracked open, revealing an arena. The 2 of them were automatically teleported. Everyone was shocked. Was Xiao Zhuang really lucky? Xiao Zhuang sighed, you're really annoying. I'm already sleepy, but you still want to disturb me. Do you know the consequences of my anger are terrifying? Although he was seriously angry, in the eyes of others, they all wanted to laugh. This guy was here to make fun of them. Zi Long snorted coldly, I advise you to be obedient and give me all the information you obtained, and I can spare your life. Otherwise, don't blame me for being impolite. A shocking aura of the Tao of Dragon appeared from his body, and at the same time, a dragon phantom coiled around his body. Then, he slapped over with his claw, shattering the void as he charged forward. This claw was filled with an endless amount of murderous intent. Xiao Zhuang sighed. He was struck by the claw and his body turned into countless pieces. The surrounding people were stunned. Was he killed in one strike? Torch Dragon snorted coldly, he can't even withstand a single blow. Lin Xian narrowed his eyes. The others soon realized that the other party didn't die, but turned into countless butterflies. They danced between heaven and earth. What a trick! Zi Long formed a seal with his palms, and the dragon phantom spat out purple flames that filled the sky. Chapter 49-20. Looking at the butterflies flying around him, Zi Long sneered. He unleashed dragon fire, which swept through the 9 heavens. He wanted to melt the butterflies. However, the butterflies turned into a sea of vicissitudes. The dragon fire in the sky disappeared. Zilong's face was pale. Feeling suppressed, he spat out a mouthful of blood, his expression cold. I didn't expect you to be an expert. However, you've completely angered me. He roared and two flaming sabers appeared. He grabbed them with his dragon claws and charged forward. The terrifying light was tens of thousands of feet long. It was as if a fire dragon had come to life and slashed forward. The butterflies that filled the sky continued to dance, as if they were about to ascend and become immortals. They passed through the endless flames and saber light and arrived in front of Zilong. Zilong felt dizzy. Oh no, it's a soul attack. He had to guard his mind. At the same time, he roared at the sky. However, it was too late. His body fell, foaming at the mouth, and he fainted. Was it over? The surrounding people were shocked. They thought it would be an earth-shattering battle. They didn't expect it to end so quickly. However, Zhu Long and the others were frowning. They knew Zilong's strength. The fact that he fainted so easily was enough to show how terrifying Xiao Zhuang was. If it was a battle of life and death, Zilong's soul would have been destroyed. Xiao Zhuang walked down and fell asleep at the side. The arena disappeared. Torch Dragon went to wake Zilong up. Zilong roared at the sky. Damn it, how dare you use despicable methods? What a disgrace. Lin Xian snorted when he saw this. Despicable methods. It was a fair battle. You're not as good as me, so why are you embarrassing yourself here? The Dragon Clan's face has been completely thrown away by you. You! Zilong roared and stared at Lin Xian. Mad God, do you want to die? His dragon claws flew out, but halfway, they were interrupted by the Golden Lion. How dare you attack in front of me? You're breaking the rules. Scram! He slapped out a palm, which turned into a fearless lion and sent Zilong flying. Zilong's body shattered. He screamed and flew into the distance, disappearing. Whoever dared to be impudent would die. The others were terrified and lowered their heads. This was a supreme existence left behind by the heavenly court. They were no match for him at all. Zhu Long's expression was cold, but he did not dare to say anything else. Outside, those people were still bitterly holding on, fighting against the lion phantoms that appeared from time to time. However, it was very difficult for someone to break through the limit and walk over. At this moment, they saw a figure flying back. What is it? They were all shocked. Upon closer inspection, he discovered that the person had landed on the ground. It was a person. He seemed to be one of the dragons. Wasn't that Zilong? He was a top expert of the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty and he was actually forced out. Who was it? What happened in the battle ahead? Voices could be heard one after another. The 10,000 Dragon Dynasty's people were also shocked. What was going on with Lord Zilong? Zilong stood up and roared at the sky. His broken body healed, but in the next moment, his body swayed and his face turned ugly. Although the blow just now didn't take his life, it caused him to be seriously injured. Previously, he had been overjoyed after absorbing the golden light to increase his strength. However, now that he was seriously injured, his expression turned ugly. In that case, he would be lagging behind the others. Damn it! He took out some precious treasures from his storage ring. His expression was vicious as he swallowed them. The surrounding people didn't dare to ask anymore. Everyone could see that the other party was filled with killing intent. Many people even left quietly. However, everyone still heard him roar. Mad God, I will tear you into pieces. I won't let you off. The surrounding people were shocked. Did Mad God defeat him? This Mad God was too terrifying. He didn't even give face to the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty. On the other side, outside the heavenly court ruins, two streaks of light flew past one after another. They were extremely fast and entered the ruins in an instant. They arrived at the Southern Heaven Gate. Was this the legendary Southern Heaven Gate? It was indeed majestic. The first person scoffed coldly and walked forward. Very quickly, he saw an armored giant charging towards him. That person shouted coldly. His dragon energy was shocking, as if he had turned into a dragon god. He instantly tore apart the phantom. He walked in with large strides. Not long after, another person arrived. This person was surrounded by black and white. He was also mysterious and terrifying. After he arrived, he carefully sensed it and walked in easily. After entering the Southern Heaven Gate, he quickly flew towards the two people in front. Very quickly, they heard a huge battle erupting in front of them. There were also some terrifying great sage. Those people sensed the arrival of two experts and turned their heads. Then, someone exclaimed, "Dragon Prince, are you out of seclusion?" The Dragon Shine race was delighted. The others were also surprised. They looked carefully and realized that one of them was extraordinarily mighty, with 10,000 dragons revolving around him. Without looking at his cultivation, just the aura of his bloodline made him even more terrifying than the Dragon Sovereign. The Dragon Prince was probably the only one in the world who could do that. He actually came too. The Master of the Great Desolation also stared at the other party. But soon, he shook his head. No, it wasn't the real Dragon Prince. It was just an incarnation. The Master of the Dragon Shine said, "Dragon Prince, there are 12 Tao palaces ahead." The Dragon Prince laughed. "I understand." He rushed forward and soon entered the Tao Palace. Everyone was shocked. They didn't expect the Dragon Prince to send an incarnation. But this wasn't the end. Not long after, another expert arrived. He was like a black and white god, making people tremble. Who was this person? His aura wasn't any weaker than Long Huangzi's. In fact, he was even stronger. It was Kun Pengzi. When Divine General Wind Snow saw him, he exclaimed. Countless people were shocked. Kun Pengzi was also a crown prince. Not long ago, he was crowned as the crown prince. This person's strength was even stronger than the Dragon Prince. Was he here too? He should be an incarnation too. The Master of the Great Desolation shone brightly. The others also looked solemn. The two crown princes had sent two incarnations. Obviously, they were both interested in the heavenly court. Divine General Wind Snow went forward and explained the situation. Kun Pengzi nodded and flew toward the Tao Palace. In the Tao Palace, countless people felt the aura of the two and were shocked. Some people recognized them, such as the people from the Dragon Palace and the Heaven Sect. They exclaimed, "It's the Dragon Prince. Kun Pengzi is here too. Heavens, are they going to enter the heavenly court to obtain the treasures?" Everyone was shocked. In their hearts, these two were godlike existences. They were two huge mountains that stood at the pinnacle of bloodline and talent, making them look up to them. It would be difficult for anyone to surpass the two of them. It was even impossible to get close to them. When Zilong saw the Dragon Prince, he said, "Dragon Emperor, Mad God has gone too far. Please avenge me." Chapter 49-21. What a terrifying aura. Yi Wudao raised his head, and his eyes shone with a sharp light. He sensed the aura of the Great Emperor. Of course, he knew that it wasn't the real Great Emperor, but the Crown Prince. They had inherited the strongest bloodline of the Great Emperor. He felt as if he was facing a great enemy. The Heavenly Emperor's sutra circulated quickly in his body, and he seemed to have turned into a golden god of war. On the other side, Gu Feng also sensed it, and the void scripture in his body also circulated. His entire body merged into the void. On the other side, Yao Guang also raised his head, and his eyes lit up. The Crown Prince. If he devoured the two of them, his strength and talent would probably surpass the Crown Prince's. He had no expectations. However, he didn't dare to make a move. He knew that the Crown Prince was too terrifying. He had countless trump cards and might even bring an extreme weapon. It would be difficult for him to succeed. However, he wouldn't miss the opportunity. In the sky, Kuan Ping Zi and the Dragon Prince also sensed two powerful battle intents. They even sensed a trace of the Great Emperor's aura. Was it another Crown Prince? They looked down, and their gazes pierced through the 9 underworlds. Then, they stared at two figures. No, it wasn't the Crown Prince they knew. These two people should be from the Emperor race. They had the ancient desolate body and cultivated the Imperial Sutra. Although their talent and bloodline weren't as good as theirs, they were qualified to compete with them. But now, these two people were too weak. Shaking their heads, Kuan Ping Zi and the Dragon Prince ignored Yi Wudao and flew into the distance again. In front of the golden coffin, Lin Xian and the others were still trying, and there were less than 5 people left. The one with the highest result was Xiao Zhuang, who had reached the 8th statue. The others couldn't even reach the 5th statue. Could it be that no one succeeded? Countless people sighed. At this moment, Lin Xian took a deep breath and walked out. He was ready to try. Everyone looked over. They had heard of the Mad God's name before. Even if they didn't know, they were shocked by the fact that he had killed 5 experts in a row and fought against the 5 giants. Therefore, at this moment, everyone was talking. There were discussions. Can this guy succeed? I think it's possible. There were also people who shook their heads. Humph, so many people found it difficult to reach the 9th stone tablet. I don't think he has much hope as well. Under everyone's questioning and friendly gazes, Lin Xian walked forward. The 2nd stone tablet, the 3rd stone tablet. Lin Xian's speed was very fast. Soon, he arrived at the 5th stone tablet. This was the place where Zilong had arrived. Previously, Zilong had wanted to make a move on Mad God. He wondered if this fellow would be able to pass. Everyone realized that Lin Xian seemed to have passed the 5th stone tablet very easily. Everyone was astonished. It seemed like this Mad God's strength was in the purple dragon realm. Next was the 6th stone tablet. Zhu Long was nervous. This was his result. Could the other party surpass him? Soon, his pupils shrank and his face turned cold. Damn it, the other party had surpassed him without much effort. He reached the 7th stone tablet. Lin Xian also passed, which made everyone stunned. This guy's strength was somewhat heaven-defying. He was going to attack the 8th stone tablet. Would he be able to pass? Previously, Xiao Zhuang had stopped at the 8th stone tablet. Lin Xian walked forward and looked at the stone tablet in front of him. It was a lion, coiled on the ground. Its 8 heads were solemn and dignified, emitting a terrifying divine aura. Lin Xian walked forward again. To be honest, the test this time was very terrifying. The lion statue was constantly emitting power. It impacted the body and even suppressed the soul and bloodline. This was a comprehensive test. However, Lin Xian wasn't afraid. He was confident in himself. He must obtain the fearless lion seal. He walked over, his aura as deep as the sea, and charged forward. The two collided, causing the sky to collapse and the earth to crack. countless large cracks interweaved. The surrounding people exclaimed. This guy actually blocked it. Zhu Long and the Overlord's pupils shrank. Previously, Xiao Zhuang was quickly defeated at the 8th stone tablet. However, Lin Xian was now able to contend with him. He was likely to succeed. Xiao Zhuang also opened his sleepy eyes. There were butterflies flashing in his eyes. As expected of the 9-yang divine body, he seemed to have cultivated it to an extremely high level. Lin Xian walked forward, waving his fist at the same time. The 6-path fist pressed forward. The other party unleashed the fearless light, seemingly fearless. The two collided again. The battle erupted. Everyone was shocked. Mad God's strength was so terrifying. At the same time, they rejoiced for Zilong. Fortunately, Zilong didn't fight Mad God. Otherwise, he would probably be beaten to death. After 200 moves, Lin Xian forcefully broke through the other party's divine ability. He walked over and passed the 8th stone tablet. The surrounding people exclaimed. He really did it. This was the last one. Would he have a chance to obtain the Fearless Lion seal? The surrounding people's eyes turned red. Although they were all top experts, there were still differences in strength. It seemed that this mad god was above them. They couldn't believe it. Qin Hong and Zi Hong were also shocked. The two of them could only reach the 6th stone tablet. However, if they worked together, they should be able to reach the 7th. However, they weren't confident about reaching the 8th stone tablet. However, Lin Xian did it. Lin Xian's lips curled into a smile as he walked towards the 9th stone tablet. At this moment, he suddenly turned around, and an extremely cold light burst out from his eyes. The golden lion also roared at the sky. The others were stunned as well. Soon, they felt a power that could topple mountains and overturn seas. What a terrifying aura. Someone was coming. Who was it? Was it one of those peerless experts or super mighty figures? Impossible. They couldn't come because of the restriction of their cultivation. In other words, this person was at most an early-stage great sage. How could an early-stage great sage have such a terrifying aura? They couldn't believe it. Unless. They thought of a possibility and all of them widened their eyes. In the next moment, they saw two figures arrive one after another. One of them was like a dragon god, surrounded by the aura of 10,000 dragons. The other person had a mysterious black and white aura. The Dragon Prince. Kun Pengzi. Everyone exclaimed. They had guessed that this would be the outcome, but they didn't expect the two princes to really come. Everyone swallowed their saliva. They could feel the suppression of their bloodlines. It was too powerful. It was as if they couldn't even raise their heads in front of these two figures. Lin Xian's eyes also burst out with an extremely cold light. Princes. He clenched his fists. His body also swayed as he felt the pressure. Humph. His divine body bloomed with light, and the great dragon sword's soul roared with a terrifying power to resist. Chapter 49-22. Everyone was suppressed by the auras of the two martial emperor's sons, and they could not raise their heads. However, Lin Xian took a step forward, emitting an extremely terrifying aura. There was even the roar of a dragon. Someone was going to fight with the imperial princes. Who was it? The surrounding people were shocked. They looked out of the corner of their eyes, and then their scalps went numb. It was Mad God. They saw Mad God standing beside the 8th statue, looking up at the sky arrogantly. The two imperial princes were also stunned. Someone could withstand the pressure of their bloodline. Who was it? Did this person also cultivate an imperial scripture? there were only two kinds of people who could compete with them. First, they had the imperial bloodline like them. Second, they had cultivated an imperial scripture and had the imperial techniques. Other than that, perhaps only the extremely terrifying experts of the older generation could contend with their auras. Of course, the older generation cultivators couldn't enter, so they had all forgotten about Lin Xian at this moment, and their brows were tightly knitted together. The other party had a monstrous demonic aura. He was a demonic cultivator, so he couldn't be an imperial prince. That was an imperial scripture. He's from the dragons. Kuanping Zi said indifferently. The dragon prince frowned. He had indeed sensed the aura of the Tao of dragons in the other party's body, and it was extremely powerful. Which dragons do you belong to? The demon dragons. The dragon prince frowned. However, he didn't take it to heart. Then, he asked again, who is Mad God? How dare you challenge the Dragon Palace and the 10,000 Dragon Court? Come out and die. As soon as these words came out, everyone's scalps went numb. It was over, the Dragon Prince was really here for revenge. Some people from Holy Abyss Ancient City knew about Mad God's matters. Previously, Mad God had fought with Zilong, causing Zilong to be sent flying. More importantly, Mad God had challenged the Dragon Palace. He had even killed many experts and geniuses of the Dragon Palace. At that time, the Dragon Prince had not come out of seclusion. Now that he had come out, was he going to settle the score? I am. Below, Lin Xian shouted coldly, and his aura erupted again. It seemed that he was going to dominate the 9 heavens. You're Mad God. The Dragon Prince frowned even more. Wasn't he from the dragons? How dare you go against my 10,000 dragon dynasty? Kneel down obediently and wait for my orders. You. Lin Xian snorted coldly. The people around were going crazy. Was Mad God really going to compete with the Crown Prince? The Dragon Prince stood with his hands clasped behind his back, surrounded by thousands of dragons. He said coldly, "That's right, because I'm the Crown Prince." Humph. 10,000 dragons roared under his feet, and an extremely terrifying pressure of dragon blood rushed over. The pupils of the surrounding people shrank and they quickly retreated. Even the Overlord, Torch Dragon, and the others quickly retreated. This time, even Xiao Zhuang retreated. There was nothing he could do about it. The power of his imperial bloodline was simply too terrifying. Would this fellow be killed by the pressure of his bloodline? Some people thought. After all, in their hearts, the Crown Prince was like a god. Lin Xian naturally felt the immense pressure as well, and he shouted angrily. Behind him, dragon shadows appeared one after another, emitting terrifying dragon roars. These dragons were the blood of the 10,000 dragons' god blood. Coupled with the power of the great dragon sword soul, it was as if they had transcended time and space to come to life. They fought against the 10,000 dragons in the sky. Boom! The two bloodline powers collided, causing an earth-shattering earthquake. The surrounding people seemed to have been struck by lightning. Their faces turned pale, and some even vomited blood. Damn it, what's going on? They stared at Lin Xian. He also had the bloodline of the dragons, and he had so many dragon shadows. Was he also a member of the dragons? It was too unbelievable. Mad God was a member of the dragons. This was shocking news. Who exactly are you? The Dragon Prince frowned again. Other than him, who else could command the 10,000 dragons? However, the other party could actually conjure the phantoms of 10,000 dragons. Those were not simple phantoms. They contained the shadows of the Tyrannosaurus Rex, Black Dragon, Sword Dragon, Thunder Dragon, Sea Dragon, and various other dragons. It was too unbelievable. If the Dragon Prince did not know that he was the only son of the Dragon Emperor, he would have suspected that the other party was also a crown prince. It seems that you have some secrets. Could it be that you have killed countless powerful dragons and used their blood to cast these dragon shadows? If that's the case, I will let you know the feeling of living a life worse than death. The Dragon Prince was furious. He thought about it, and there was only one possibility. His body descended towards the ground. An even more terrifying force swept in all directions as if the dragon god had been resurrected. The demonic chi on Lin Xian's body was about to disappear. An even more terrifying light burst out from his eyes, like two divine lamps that lit up heaven and earth. He seemed to have seen through everything, and then he looked up to the sky and laughed. Don't you think you are too arrogant for a mere incarnation? Incarnation. This was only an incarnation of the Dragon Prince. Oh my God, an incarnation was enough to make them feel like they were facing a formidable enemy. They could not even resist. How terrifying was the Dragon Prince's true body. He could kill all of them with one finger. Wait, in addition to the Dragon Prince, was Kunping Zi also an incarnation? Was this a crown prince? He was too powerful. He was so powerful that they seemed to be unable to compete with him in their lifetime. An incarnation is enough to deal with you. The Dragon Prince snorted, and there was a trace of coldness in his eyes. In his eyes, other than Kunping, who could make him serious, the others were ants. I heard that you are ranked 1000 on the honor roll. Your identity is indeed amazing, but unfortunately, I am ranked 2nd on the honor roll. I am destined to be crowned king in the future. The difference between you and me is the difference between an ant and a giant dragon. Now, I will let you feel despair. The Dragon Prince's incarnation raised a palm, and a dragon shadow surrounded it as if this move could destroy the entire world. Lin Xian's face was cold. He had to admit that the other party was indeed very powerful. Even if it was just an incarnation, he had to go all out. However, he believed that with his trump cards and many unique techniques, he could contend with it. Taking a deep breath, Lin Xian's body emitted an even more terrifying aura. He even took out the Great Spear of Destruction. The Dragon Sword soul was circulating in his body. Was he really going to fight? Could the Mad God block this move? Previously, it was only a collision of bloodline auras. Now that the Dragon Prince was going to use a peerless ability, the Mad God would probably disappear instantly. This palm of mine is called the Dragon Cloud Palm. If you can block this palm of mine and not die, I will spare your life today. The Dragon Prince's eyes were filled with confidence. It was just a casual attack, but it was not something that others could block. Not to mention the other party, even a great sage cultivator outside would have his soul destroyed by this palm strike. One palm. Lin Xian snorted coldly. The other party was underestimating him too much. Today, he would experience the Crown Prince's unique technique. He also walked out. At this moment, the Golden Lion King roared. Fighting was not allowed here. Those who violated the rules would be killed without mercy. A loud voice rang out, causing everyone's expression to change. The Dragon Prince was even more furious. A lion dares to be impudent in front of me. Chapter 49-23. Boom boom. A terrifying sound tore through the 9 heavens. The golden lion's huge body shattered into pieces and disappeared into thin air. Was it dead? Countless people were shocked. Many of them had experienced how powerful the golden lion was before, but now, it was destroyed by Long Yun in one strike. Other than Kunpeng, no one else could withstand this attack. Mad God would definitely die. Alright, the fly is already dead. Let's see who can stop me. The dragon prince circled around. Everyone lowered their heads. Kunping stood in the 9 heavens, his eyes flickering. He didn't stop him. He wouldn't go against the dragon prince for an ant. Lin Xian's brows were tightly knitted together. This was the strongest enemy he had ever encountered in his life. This was only the imperial prince. He didn't know how terrifying a true great emperor was. Lin Xian felt his blood boiling. He gripped the Great Destruction spear tightly, his eyes shining. At this moment, another voice sounded. It's useless. You can't kill me. As soon as these words came out, Lin Xian was stunned and looked forward. The others also suddenly raised their heads, their faces filled with shock. It was the Golden Lion's voice. Was he not dead? In the void ahead, countless rays of golden light condensed, and the phantom of the Golden Lion appeared again. He walked over in the air. Not dead. The dragon prince frowned. Kunping also spoke. You should be a formation spirit, right? Formation spirit. Everyone was shocked. Lin Xian was also surprised. He was a formation expert, so he had naturally heard of formation spirits. This was extremely impressive. It was an intelligent spiritual creature formed by a formation. It was an exceptionally mysterious existence. He didn't expect that this golden lion was actually a formation spirit. That's right. The golden lion raised its head and said. I'm a formation spirit, so you can't kill me. Can't kill you. Dragon Prince Long, then I'll destroy this formation. Without the formation, let's see if you'll die. He was arrogant and unruly. There was nothing in the world that he couldn't do. The golden lion stopped and sat in the void. The light around his body became more and more terrifying. Although you are the imperial prince, this is the heavenly court, the golden lion palace of the 12 Dao palaces. If you want to contend against the true golden lion king, wait until you become a great emperor. The golden lion king's voice was incomparably cold. At the same time, a spell formation appeared in the surroundings. The absolute killing intent caused everyone's hair to stand on end. No one hesitated. Under this attack, no one would be able to escape. Perhaps only a few imperial princes would be able to leave alive. Of course, this was on the premise that these princes had extreme weapons on them. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to fight back. Lin Xian also felt his hair stand on end. He discovered that not only did the array formation light up, the golden coffin in front of him also seemed to emit a mysterious talisman. From the looks of it, he really did have a peerless trump card. The two imperial princes looked at the golden jar and felt their blood run cold. Kunpeng frowned and said coldly. Long Wugu, I advise you not to act blindly without thinking. This was the fearless lion king of the heavenly court. The dragon prince frowned. The fearless lion king. So it was him, the golden coffin of the 12 Dao palaces. What, did he want to come back to life? What a joke. Since the great emperor had died, it was impossible for him to be revived. After saying that, he looked at the golden lion in front of him. A mere array spirit dares to threaten me. Remember this. When I become a great emperor, it will be the time of your golden Dao palace's death. As soon as this voice was heard, endless giant dragons roared in the sky, forming an oath. The entire heavenly court was in a state of flux as countless bolts of lightning descended. What happened? The people outside were shocked. Even the Lord of the Great Wilderness, the Lord of the Dragon Radiance, and the others had serious expressions. The heavenly soldiers and heavenly generals roared with murderous intent. The Golden Lion King's expression was solemn as he said in a deep voice. The heavenly court will never be destroyed. Even if you become a great emperor, you won't be able to destroy it. Moreover, How could a great emperor think so simply? Since ancient times, no imperial prince had ever become a great emperor. You won't be an exception. The ancients couldn't do it, but it doesn't mean that I can't. The dragon prince took a step forward, bringing with him an earth-shattering domineering aura. I was born to break the rules of heaven and earth. I will become a great emperor. This time, even Lin Xian was shocked. What a strong belief, what a terrifying heart of martial arts. He had to admit that the dragon prince was simply an invincible existence. He had the best bloodline talent, the most cultivation resources, the strongest heart of martial arts, and the most domineering demeanor. It could be said that no one was a match for him. And this was just the dragon prince. Kuan Pengzi and Long Huangzi had awakened earlier, and their cultivation levels were higher. How far had the dragon prince reached? Lin Xian felt immense pressure, but he wasn't afraid at all. He knew that there weren't many who became great emperors in history, but each great emperor had a different experience. Some were chosen by the heavens, sweeping through the world and becoming the eldest brother. However, there were also those who rose from the dust and stood in the 9 heavens. If the previous great emperors could do it, he was confident that he could do it too. At this moment, his eyes were shining with an extremely terrifying confidence. That was the heart of an invincible expert. Boom! Boom! Thunder fell between heaven and earth once again. In the 9 heavens, the wind and clouds swept. At this moment, everyone felt their souls trembling again. It was as if there was a god looking down on them. The dragon prince suddenly turned his head and stared at Lin Xian. I didn't expect an ant like you to have an invincible heart of Tao. Kuan Pengzi also looked over and nodded for the first time. Interesting person. However, just having an invincible heart isn't enough. There aren't many people in this world who can compete with us. His eyes were also cold. It was a coldness that looked down on the world. At their level, they were indeed qualified to look down on the world. Lin Xian smiled. How would you know if you don't try? My goal is also to become a great emperor. To become a great emperor. The surrounding people were shocked. This was their goal since they were born and knew about martial arts. However, it was just a thought. When they really stepped on the path of martial arts, they would give up on this thought. Because the further they went, the more they knew that it was impossible to become a great emperor. Especially now that they were peak sages, and some of them had even become great sage. However, they were already in despair. They knew that their cultivation speed would become slower and slower. The bloodline talent was like a cage that locked them tightly, making it impossible for them to enter the great emperor realm in their lifetime. In the hearts of these top geniuses, becoming a peak great sage was already a dream. However, this crazy god dared to say that he wanted to become a great emperor. Was he naive or was he really that confident? Kuan Pengzi shook his head. He felt that Lin Xian was too naive. The dragon prince sneered coldly. Stupid. You don't know the immensity of heaven and earth. Chapter 49-24. After saying that, the dragon prince ignored Lin Xian and looked at the golden coffin in front of him. Golden Lion King, I want to experience it. He walked forward. At the same time, Kuan Pengzi in the sky also made his move. Everyone exclaimed. Could it be that these two princes didn't come here for the fearless lion seal but for the golden coffin? Lin Xian also frowned, but he didn't pay attention to it. He was indeed different from the princes. The path to take was also different. Therefore, he didn't need to care about what the other party was doing. His current target was the 9th stone statue. He had already broken through the 9th one. He could obtain the fearless lion seal. From what the Golden Lion Formation spirit said, the Golden Lion King was also a supreme existence that swept through the 9 heavens. Perhaps only a true great emperor could suppress it. Then, the other party's ultimate technique was definitely terrifying. It should be a divine ability comparable to a great emperor's ultimate technique. He must master it. The 9th statue had 9 heads. Its power was even more terrifying than all the previous 8 statues combined. Lin Xian also felt a huge pressure. Under this terrifying roar, Lin Xian's body even cracked, and blood dripped down. He roared, and demonic energy surged into the sky, covering him and the 9th statue. Because he had some methods that he didn't want others to see. The crowd couldn't see it. They could only see demonic energy surging into the sky and earth-shattering sounds. Obviously, Mad God was crazily attacking. On the other side, what shocked them even more was the 2 princes. One of them was flying in the sky, while the other was walking on the ground. They both charged toward the golden coffin. This time, the Golden Lion Formation spirit didn't activate the Peerless Formation and allowed the 2 princes to charge over. Was he going to give up? Or was he absolutely confident in the golden coffin? The golden coffin had been there for tens of thousands of years, but there was no dust on it. Instead, it flickered with a mysterious light. Sensing the bloodline aura of the 2 princes, a terrifying fluctuation erupted, as if something inside was about to be resurrected. The surrounding people felt their bodies splitting apart. Not good, retreat quickly. They were terrified and didn't dare to stay here anymore. A few of them still wanted to hold on, but their bodies shattered and turned into a bloody mist. The souls roared and fled in fear, bringing with them a bloody mist that filled the sky. Everyone had retreated. Other than the 2 princes, only the Golden Lion Array spirit and Lin Xian, who was still crazily attacking the statue, were left. Lin Xian also sensed the earth-shattering sounds of battle ahead, as well as a terrifying aura. However, he ignored it. He unleashed all sorts of methods to contend against it. His powerful physique, terrifying God's Eye, and Dragon Soul Sword Chi were all unleashed. After a fierce battle, he finally succeeded in suppressing and breaking through the 9th statue. The next moment, he felt a wave of information coming from the statue and flowing into his glabella. Lin Xian's body shook as an extremely sharp light appeared in his eyes. He had obtained the complete mark of the Fearless Lion. Lin Xian took a deep breath. He left behind an avatar and sat down cross-legged. As for his main body, it had entered the sword world. Lin Xian wanted to quickly comprehend it. He knew that there was a huge threat waiting for him, and that was the Dragon Prince. The other party had already set his eyes on him and would definitely fight him. Although he was not afraid, he still learned the mark of the Fearless Lion. His chances of winning were higher. After entering, Lin Xian sat cross-legged in the Four-Spirit Valley. He felt a powerful and mysterious aura and began to cultivate the mark of the Fearless Lion. He entered a state of selflessness. Outside, Xiao Zhuang, Ping Wanli, Zhu Long, and the others had gathered. The others also retreated. They were at the back. There was nothing they could do. The scene ahead was too terrifying. What happened? Those who had not gone before were puzzled. Those who came later told them what had happened before. Everyone was shocked. The 2 princes were just incarnations, but they were already so terrifying. Moreover, there was a mysterious golden coffin in front of them. There was also the legendary peerless mark of the Fearless Lion. One piece of news after another shocked them. Their eyes were red with envy. But soon, they sighed. So many top experts had failed the test, leaving only Mad God inside. And did he succeed? They did not know either. Some people from the Dragon Palace sighed. Why didn't the Dragon Prince fight for the mark of the fearless lion? If the Dragon Prince wanted to fight for it, that mad god had no chance at all. The people from the 10,000 Dragons dynasty shook their heads. They had underestimated the Dragon Prince. The Dragon Prince cultivated the Dragon Emperor Sutra. There were many peerless divine abilities inside, and they were all the arch-divine abilities. No matter how strong the mark of the fearless lion was, could it be of the arch-divine ability? As soon as these words came out, everyone understood. So that was the case. It seemed that the two disciples had come for the golden coffin. No one knew what was inside the golden coffin. They began to wait patiently. However, 3 months passed. No one had returned yet. Everyone was shocked. Had they died? However, that terrifying aura was still sweeping out. No one dared to go forward. They continued to wait. Half a year had passed. Many people were in despair. Some of them even prepared to leave and go to other places. There were also people looking around to see if there were other weapon fragments that could be used to comprehend the Great Tao. However, the outside world was also terrifying. The heavenly soldiers and heavenly generals were all puppets formed by the powerhouses of the heavenly court. It was abnormally terrifying. They had never stopped attacking. Therefore, some people returned to the Tao Palace and began to cultivate here. In the blink of an eye, another year had passed. Everyone was in despair. If it wasn't for the terrifying aura in front, they would have thought that the incarnations of the two princes had died. However, someone said, "It's been more than a year, but Mad God still hasn't come out. I think he must have died." That was for sure. The two princes had attacked the peerless powerhouses of the heavenly court. It was understandable that it had taken a long time. Mad God had probably already been defeated and killed by the crown prince. Was he dead? Qin Hong, Zi Hong, Yan Ling, and the others frowned. Zhu Long, Zi Long, and the others sneered. It was good that he was dead. They could take revenge if he was dead. When the second year passed, everyone thought that Mad God wouldn't return alive. After all, if he had obtained the mark of the fearless lion, he would have returned long ago. Mad God couldn't have withstood the terrifying aura in front. If he didn't return, it meant that he had died. After 2.5 years, the terrifying aura in front finally disappeared. Then, two figures flew back. The light on their bodies had dimmed. After 2.5 years of fighting, the two incarnations still hadn't opened the golden coffin. Instead, they were injured. Chapter 49-25. Look, the two princes have returned. Countless people exclaimed. They saw two godlike figures flying back. How is the prince? The people from the 10,000 Dragon Court and the Sky Sect walked over and asked nervously. The two princes frowned. It seemed that just using their incarnations was not enough. If their original bodies were here, they could open it and take a look. Hearing this, everyone was shocked. The person buried in front was actually so terrifying. However, some people knew that the fearless Lion King was in existence that dared to challenge the great emperor. Even if such a person had fallen countless tens of thousands of years ago, he would still have enough trump cards to deal with all changes. The people from the 10,000 Dragon Court said, "Dragon Emperor, let's leave and help Dragon Illumination Master and the others outside." The battle outside was still erupting. Those heavenly soldiers and heavenly generals seemed to be indestructible, giving people a headache. However, Long Huangzi stood there with his hands behind his back. The corners of his mouth curled up. "No, I'm waiting for that mad god. I want to see where he gets the qualifications to challenge me. I'm waiting for Mad God." The surrounding people were stunned. Zilong said, could it be that he's not dead yet? Impossible. Zhu Long also shook his head. He must have already fallen inside. The dragon prince snorted coldly. He hasn't fallen yet. I see that the demonic energy is monstrous. He's sitting cross-legged in front of the ninth statue. It seems like he wants to comprehend the fearless lion seal. What? Did that guy really get it? The surrounding people were shocked. Some people's eyes instantly turned red as they gritted their teeth. Damn it. Zilong, Zhu Long, and the others were also jealous. However, the dragon prince sneered. It doesn't matter. Wait for me to kill him with a palm strike and collect his soul. The fearless lion seal can be given to you guys to cultivate. Really? Great, thank you, Prince. They were unconsciously happy. Qin Hong, Zi Hong, Xiao Zhuang, and the others frowned. It seemed that Mad God was very dangerous. With the Dragon Prince's words, no one was in a hurry to leave because they all wanted to see what would happen next. After another half a year, which was also the third year, Lin Xian finally stopped in the sword world. The corner of his mouth raised into a smile. He formed a seal with his palm and pushed it forward. A golden light bloomed, turning into a fearless lion that charged forward. How terrifying! When the four spiritual beasts felt this aura, they were also astonished. What kind of ultimate technique was this? It was so powerful. It was even more powerful than the Man-Ruler seal and the Mountain-Embracing seal. Lin Xian was overjoyed. Great, as expected of an ultimate technique comparable to a Thearka's divine ability. However, although this supreme art was powerful, it was also difficult to cultivate. He had comprehended it for 3 years, including the great dragon sword spirit and the derivation of all things before he could grasp it. However, he did not continue cultivating. Because he didn't know what the situation outside was like. From the looks of it, if he had the chance in the future, he would continue to cultivate and increase the strength of the seal of the fearless lion through actual combat. Now he had to leave quickly. Although there is the threat of the Dragon Prince outside, Lin Xian is confident that it was just the power of 9 Yang divine body and fearless lion seal. Next, he fused the power of the great dragon sword soul into the seal of the fearless lion. The fearless lion raised its head and roared, as if it had come alive. The power of its attack was several times stronger than before. Even the 4 spirit beasts were shocked. They were startled. Damn, I thought that the Golden Lion King had revived. The effect was not bad. Lin Xian nodded his head in satisfaction. He had only cultivated for 3 years. In the future, the seal of the fearless lion would become stronger and stronger. With a sway of his body, he walked out of the sword world. With a wave of his hand, his clone disappeared, and the demonic energy that filled the sky also dissipated. Lin Xian looked ahead and frowned slightly. The terrifying aura was still there. However, the 2 princes had already disappeared. He didn't know if they succeeded or not. He too walked towards the golden coffin in front of him. When he got close, he felt a huge pressure. This power was much more terrifying than the 9 statues from before. Seeing someone walking forward, the golden lion array spirit appeared again. Lin Xian stopped and asked, "Senior, may I know how the battle went? Those 2 princes didn't succeed, right?" The golden lion array spirit shook its head. The 2 incarnations did not have that much energy. They did not succeed and had already left half a year ago. However, I can feel that they did not leave the Dao Palace. They seem to be waiting for you. As expected. Lin Xian snorted coldly. It seemed that the Dragon Prince did not plan to let him go. However, he would let the other party experience the fearless lion seal that he had just cultivated. What do you plan to do? Leave now. Let me give you a suggestion. You can continue to cultivate here. 10 years later, your fearless lion seal should be completed, and they should be able to leave. It was not a wise choice to fight with the princes now. Thank you for your kind intentions, Senior. 10 years is too long, I can't afford to wait. Senior also said that he was just an incarnation and didn't have that much energy. Indeed, if the other party's main body came, Lin Xian would probably have to cultivate for 10 years. However, Lin Xian felt that an incarnation was enough. Furthermore, his trump card was not something that the Dragon Prince could imagine. All right. The Golden Lion Array Spirit nodded. He said, "Can you let me see the results of your cultivation?" He also did not believe that a person could cultivate such an absolute art in 3 years. "Kid, let him take a look." A laugh rang out. Lin Xian was surprised. He suddenly raised his head and saw another figure walking over from the front. He was wearing a black robe like an old demon. Lin Xian smiled. "Black Mountain, why are you here?" That's right, it was Black Mountain. He walked over with a sky lantern in his hand. "I'm a member of the Heavenly Court. Why can't I come here?" Then, he looked at the Golden Lion and said, "Look at what I said. This kid will definitely go out immediately. You lost the bet." The Golden Lion snorted coldly. "You already know him. This doesn't count." Lin Xian rolled his eyes. These two guys were actually using his matter to pass time. "Young man, let me see the fearless lion seal that you cultivated." The array spirit spoke again. Lin Xian nodded. The demonic chi on his body had also disappeared. With Black Mountain here, he did not need to hide. The 9-yang divine body released a powerful force. Then, Lin Xian sent out a palm. A golden lion swept in all directions and ran forward. That power was shocking. He really cultivated it. The array spirit also exclaimed. "How did you do it in 3 years?" It was too shocking. This was not an ordinary martial art. Black Mountain said, "You underestimate him too much. Not only does he have the 9-yang divine body, he is also the successor of the Great Dragon Sword Soul. The Great Dragon Sword Soul's attack was unparalleled. It was not enough that he could quickly master an absolute art. Moreover, he did not use the full power of the Great Dragon Sword Soul in the attack just now. Chapter 49-26. So that was the case. The Golden Lion was shocked. "It seems like your trump card isn't much weaker than the Dragon Prince's incarnation." This time, Lin Xian's life shouldn't be in danger, but he still said, "But this incarnation, his true body was 10 times stronger. Not only did he have the Emperor Scripture, but he could also use extreme weapons." "I understand. Thank you, Senior, for your reminder. But I still have trump cards." Lin Xian smiled. "No matter what, I should be a member of the Heavenly Court, right?" "Of course." Black Mountain said, "You are from the Heavenly Court. Kid, go out later. Work with me. I need their strength to help me open up the Heavenly Court foundations that have been sealed for a long time." What was it? Lin Xian was shocked. Was it related to the golden coffin? Black Mountain shook his head. "No, it is a bunch of ancient people who have been sleeping. You can think of them as the master of the desolate wilderness, Feng Shaoqing, etc." When he heard that, Lin Xian was shocked too. Reviving people from tens of thousands of years ago was something the Purple Palace did. The Heavenly Court actually had it too. But he quickly understood. The Purple Palace and Heavenly Court were enemies and their trump cards weren't much different. Otherwise, one side would have been wiped out long ago. Since the Purple Palace had ancient experts, the Heavenly Court definitely had some too. However, it seemed like it wouldn't be easy to revive them. Black Mountain said, I need really strong power to activate the formation for me to wake them up. I understood. Lin Xian and Black Mountain talked for a long time. After Lin Xian grasped the entire plan, he left. He knew what to do next. Okay, then I will go. His body shook and Lin Xian flew out. I followed too. The Golden Lion King ran over. Lin Xian didn't stop him. After all, who knew whether or not the Dragon Prince would use the entire 10,000 Dragon Dynasty to attack him? Moreover, there was Kuan Ping Zi at the side. The people outside were getting impatient. 3 years had passed and that fellow still hadn't come out. Was he going to keep on comprehending? If he didn't come out for 10 years, 100 years, they were going to wait here. The Dragon Prince's face was also cold. He said that if he didn't come out in a month, they would leave. Go outside to assist Draconic Lord and the rest. Good. The 10,000 Dragons Dynasty's people nodded, and everyone else deeply breathed in. There was still 1 month left. However, after only 6 days, they raised their heads. 2 forces were flying towards him at high speed. Who were they? Was it Mad God? Then who was the other one? Here it comes. The Dragon Prince's eyes shone with a terrifying light. Not only was he powerful, but his soul was also powerful. He was far stronger than the people around him. Therefore, before anyone could react, he saw Mad God, who was surrounded by a monstrous demonic shadow. The other was the Erase Spirit. Did the two of them come together? Was she afraid that he would go back on his word? He snorted disdainfully. The others soon discovered that 2 figures had appeared in front of them. It was none other than Mad God. They cried out in surprise. This was too inconceivable. He had already obtained the lion's seal. One after another voice rang out. You actually dared to come out. I have to say that your courage is commendable. I thought you would hide in there for 100 years. Dragon Prince's clone sneered. 100 years. 3 years is enough. Lin Xian walked out and said, Come, I want to see how you're going to suppress me. The Golden Lion Erase Spirit walked out and said, As the Emperor's son, you have to keep your word. You won't go back on your word now, right? So it's because of this. Dragon Prince sneered, why? He cultivated the lion's seal, and you, the Erase Spirit, are helping him. But it didn't matter. 1 move was enough to kill him. He didn't want to use a second move. Kid, are you ready? Take out your strongest technique, or you won't have another chance in the future. Dragon Prince's clone walked out, emitting a monstrous aura. The surrounding people retreated. The 10,000 Dragons Dynasty's people sneered. Going against the Emperor's son was a dead end. The others were worried. My husband should be fine, right? Xueqi was nervous. Yi Wudao also rushed over. He knew that Mad God was Lin Xian, so he clenched his fists nervously. Fight with the Emperor's son. To be honest, she was looking forward to it. Gu Feng, Ping Wanli, and the others were all watching intently. At the front, Lin Xian walked out without a trace of nervousness. He said, I've never fought with the Emperor's son before. Today, let me see how powerful the legendary Emperor's son is. Lin Xian formed a seal with his palm. Endless golden light condensed in his palm. It turned into the phantom of a lion and was pushed out by him. A roar shook heaven and earth, carrying with it an indomitable and fearless aura. This is The surrounding people were shocked and cried out in surprise. Fearless lion. This is the lion's seal. Heavens, in 3 years' time, did he learn such an ultimate technique? Damn it, what kind of talent is this? Zhu Long, Zi Long, and the others went crazy. It was as if they were dreaming. Xueqi heaved a sigh of relief. Yi Wudao, Gu Feng, and the others were also shocked. Even they wouldn't be able to master this technique in 3 years. Even Kunping Zi was surprised. What high talent! The surrounding people were in an uproar again. What kind of honor was it to be recognized by the emperor's son? With some strength, there weren't many people with high talent under the emperor's son. The dragon prince nodded slightly. Unfortunately, you met me. I won't give you a chance. Dragon Cloud Hand. His entire arm seemed to have turned into a true dragon, with clouds and mist lingering around his arm. When he struck out with his palm, it was as if a true dragon had poked its head out of the clouds and roared at the sky. It fought with the golden fearless lion. Roar! Roar! In an instant, the sky fell and the earth cracked. A violent storm swept out in all directions. Not good, retreat. The surrounding people quickly retreated, leaving only one figure standing in the same place. It was Kunping Zi. The black and white qi on Kunping Zi's body formed a set of armor, blocking all the power. It's still not enough. He looked at the scene in front of him and said indifferently. The dragon cloud hand turned into a true dragon, baring its fangs and brandishing its claws, directly pressing down on the golden fearless lion. He pressed the fearless lion to the ground, making it unable to resist. Seeing this, the people in the distance cried out in surprise. The difference was too great. However, the fact that the madman could fight the emperor's son to this extent was enough to be proud. Zi Long sneered. What's the point? From now on, he'll cease to exist. Is this really the emperor's son? How could a clone use such a terrifying technique? Gu Feng and Yi Wudao's eyes shone brightly. They were analyzing how they would deal with this attack if it were them. There was another person, the light-shaking realm. Chapter 49-27. Did you see that? Kid, this is the difference between us. The cloud dragon hand pressed down on the fearless lion. The dragon prince laughed coldly. He used a little force and the other party was about to collapse. Sigh, who could understand the feeling of being invincible? Alright, kid, it's over. The dragon prince's eyes were filled with killing intent. The other party was indeed very strong and was a threat. If he was allowed to grow, he would be a problem in the future. If he didn't appear in the future, the Dragon Palace and the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty would suffer heavy losses. Hence, he couldn't allow such a person to live. The Golden Lion's light became dimmer and dimmer. The Cloud Dragon hand not only wanted to kill the fearless lion, but it also wanted to kill Lin Xian. The true dragon raised its head and roared. It stared at Lin Xian and was about to charge over. Lin Xian snorted coldly. Do you think I only have this much strength? It was just a warm-up. Now, I'll let you see the true fearless lion. Lin Xian didn't take out his true trump card. Now, he was going to activate the power of the great dragon sword soul. Stupid thing, don't you see the truth? The difference between us isn't something you can cross. The dragon prince was angry. He waved his hand and the golden lion illusion in front of him shattered. The cloud dragon hand charged over and shattered the void. In an instant, it arrived in front of Lin Xian and enveloped him. The giant dragon roared, wanting to tear Lin Xian into pieces. Not good. Xueqi was nervous. Zi Long and the others laughed coldly. Everything was over. Lin Xian's eyes shone with a golden light. He instantly formed a seal, and the power of the great dragon sword soul surged into the fearless lion seal. Instantly, a world-shaking roar sounded. This roar was several times stronger than before. A lion flew out from his fingertips and pounced at the true dragon. Boom! This attack was really too terrifying. Everyone was stunned. They seemed to have seen a fearless lion that crossed the ancient time and space. Was the true god beast revived? Why was it so lifelike? The golden lion array spirit beside him also trembled and stood up abruptly. He was in disbelief. Why do I feel the aura of a soul? How did he do it? His face was full of surprise. To be able to use the fearless lion to such an extent in just 3 years, it was too inconceivable. On the other side, Kun Pingzi's eyes were also emitting black and white light. What was with this aura? His strength was more than 10 times stronger than before. Was this the kid's trump card? The seal of the lion pounced over and fought with the true dragon, suppressing it. The dragon prince was stunned as well. But soon, he came back to his senses. His face darkened. Had he underestimated his opponent? Boom! In the end, the true dragon was torn in half. The fearless lion roared towards the sky and charged towards the dragon prince. The dragon prince's face was cold. Get lost! With a roar, 10,000 dragons gathered behind him, forming a dragon diagram that directly suppressed the fearless lion. With a boom, it dissipated between heaven and earth. The dragon prince took a step forward and was about to launch another attack. The golden lion snorted. Stop! One move has already passed. As the emperor's son, are you going to go back on your word? Wang! The dragon prince's hand stopped in midair. The terrifying aura of the Tao of Dragons was retracted. His expression flickered, then he sneered. What a fearless lion seal. I didn't expect you to have a trump card that is beyond my imagination. Alright, as the emperor's son, I have to do what I say. So, one move it is. You're very lucky today. I won't attack again and you can live for a while longer. But the next time I meet you, you won't be so lucky. The dragon prince retracted his palm and shouted coldly. Lucky? Lin Xian snorted coldly. The other party was really stubborn. He said that the next time they met, his strength would be 10 times stronger than now. At that time, it was not certain who would lose. The surrounding people were stunned. What did this guy do? He actually blocked the dragon prince's attack. One had to know that although the dragon cloud dragon palm was just one attack from the incarnation, it wasn't something that they could block. But Mad God actually blocked it. Could it be that Mad God was already above them? Could he compete with the emperor's son? Thinking of this possibility, their scalps went numb. Xueqi smiled. As expected of her husband, he had so many trump cards. Yi Wudao and Gu Feng looked solemn. Although they had only exchanged one move, they could already feel how powerful the emperor's son was. This was just one incarnation. Would they have to compete with such a person in the future? Just thinking about it made them despair. Damn it, how was this possible? Zilong ran frantically. The dragon prince was a god in his eyes, but he couldn't kill him with one move. Zhu Long also said that the dragon prince had been careless. Otherwise, how could he not have killed him? Yes, no matter how strong Mad God was, how could he be a match for the dragon prince? As soon as the dragon prince's true body appeared, he could kill him with one look. The people on the dragon's side roared crazily, trying to regain their confidence. The dragon prince said indifferently. Alright, let's go. Although the other party could block his move, that was it. The other party was not a match for him. With the Dragon Prince's order, the people of the Thousand Dragon Court followed. The people of the Dragon Palace also took a deep breath and hurried to follow. They had other things to do, and that was to help the Dragon Sovereign and the others. Let's go. Kunping Zi also left with the people of the Heaven Sect. But before he left, he took a deep look at Lin Xian. Mad God, huh? If he didn't fall and continued to grow at this speed, he might become an opponent in the future Emperor's path. That included the fact that the other party could never win and was just a stepping stone. The others felt their scalps go numb. They couldn't imagine that Mad God was the strongest person under the Emperor's sun. This was equivalent to a mountain pressing down on them, making it difficult for them to make a comeback. In the future, he would be their strongest opponent. That's great. You're not hurt, right? Xueqi flew over and asked with concern. Lin Xian shook his head. Qin Hong, Zi Hong, and the others also flew over. They exclaimed. You did it. You really did it. How did you do it? They found it hard to believe. I did it because the Dragon Prince wasn't invincible, but he wasn't invincible. Lin Xian made it sound simple, but these people knew that other than Lin Xian, no one else could do it. Seeing that these people were still in shock, Lin Xian smiled. Let's go. We'll go help the divine generals. All right. These people nodded, and the group walked into the distance. The Golden Lion Array spirit looked at Lin Xian's departing figure and revealed a smile. The fearless lion could be carried forward. He turned around and continued to guard the Golden Dao Palace. You all left. Then I'll start preparing. In front of the golden coffin, Black Mountain's figure turned into a wisp of smoke and disappeared. Chapter 49-28. The battle outside was still raging. It had been 3 years, and those experts were not tired at all. They were much stronger than Lin Xian and the others. However, such unparalleled experts and super mighty figures were in the minority after all. However, there were many young geniuses like Zilong. Therefore, when these people joined forces and used various trump cards, they were able to fight back. In addition to the clones of Prince Long and Kunping Zi, the two of them each carried an extreme power. That was the power of an extreme weapon. At this moment, it was truly terrifying. In an instant, many heavenly soldiers and heavenly generals were pushed back. Their bodies swayed, and the nomological laws on them dimmed. It's great that you're back. Those experts were also happy to see their disciples return. They heaved a sigh of relief. The divine generals all asked, how was it? Qin Hong, Xiao Zhuang, and the others told them, and the 4 great divine generals gasped. Inside was the legendary Dao Palace of the Fearless Lion King, and it even had the cultivation method of the Fearless Lion Seal. It was really incredible. However, what was surprising was that it seemed that only Lin Xian was cultivating it. Divine General Hai Yuan and Yunping Zi smiled. Great, Lin Xian was on their side. Lin Xian's strength made them feel gratified. Divine General Qian Chen's face darkened as he said coldly, Kid, if we didn't hold them back, how could you have entered? Teach me the cultivation method of the Fearless Lion Seal. Lin Xian glanced at him and smiled. You want to learn? You want to go to the Dao Palace? You! Divine General Qian Chen was so angry that he vomited blood. Are you going to be ungrateful? Lin Xian said, Don't judge me with your despicable heart. He ignored him and looked at Divine General Hai Yuan and Divine General Yun Gu. With a wave of his hand, he took out 6 weapon fragments. These were all given to him by the Array Spirit. He said, Seniors, I can't teach you the Fearless Lion Seal, but I'm naturally grateful to you for bringing me here. These 6 weapon fragments contain the Heavenly Court's great Tao. If you can comprehend it and engrave it on your weapon, it can make your sacred weapon even more terrifying. The eyes of Divine General Haiyuan and Divine General Haiyuan lit up when they saw the 6 weapon fragments. The Tao of the ancient Heavenly Court was extremely profound. If they could comprehend even a little bit, it would be a great improvement. Moreover, there were 6 of them here. If they split it between 2 people, each person could get 3. That's pretty good. Therefore, they put it away and said with a smile, then we'll accept it. Lin Xian only gave them to Divine General Haiyuan and Divine General Yun. As for the other 2, he didn't give them to them. He was not brought in by the 2 immortal generals. The Divine General Wind Snow gritted his teeth in anger, but he didn't say anything. Indeed, everyone belonged to different factions. If he wanted something, he would have to get it from Xiao Zhuang and the others. Little Zhuang and the others also took out a piece each, making the Divine General of Wind Snow smile. Divine General Qian Chen also received one, but he received the least. Only the Flying Corpse King gave it to him. Torch Dragon had long followed the Dragon Prince. This made him depressed, but he didn't dare to say anything. With the Dragon Prince here, let's see if Mad God dares to be arrogant. He snorted and also flew toward the Dragon Prince. He didn't know that Lin Xian had already blocked the Dragon Cloud hand. If he knew, what kind of expression would he have? In front, the heavenly soldiers and heavenly generals didn't attack again. The armored giant also stood there like a mountain. They watched covetously. On the other side, Kunping Zi and the Dragon Prince were also in a confrontation. The auras of the 2 sides were constantly clashing. Another battle could break out at any time. Lin Xian was also in the crowd, his eyes flashing. He naturally knew that Black Mountain's plan had already begun. As expected, the heavenly soldiers and heavenly generals had begun to retreat under Black Mountain's control. Chase! The Dragon Prince snorted and led a group of people to attack. On the other side, Kunping Zi also rose into the air. The 2 of them pursued. They must search the heavenly court and find the supreme treasure. Both of them were imperial princes, so they had more information than the others. They naturally knew that the ancient heavenly court was an extremely powerful existence. There had been more than one great emperor here. There must be a great emperor's ancient scripture left behind. If they could obtain it, they would definitely become a true great emperor and break through the limits and shackles of their bloodlines. This was also one of the reasons why they came this time. Why didn't they send their true bodies? They naturally had their own considerations. Since there might be a great emperor's ancient scripture here, there might be a great emperor's killing formation. No matter how strong they were still too young. It was very dangerous to encounter a complete great emperor's killing formation. Even if they carried an extreme weapon, they might be injured and escape. Therefore, in order to maintain their peak condition, they sent out their incarnations. Their incarnations were here to scout. As long as they found news about the great emperor's ancient scripture, they would use the power of the emperor clans. They would attack the heavenly court at all costs. The 10,000 dragons court and the heavenly sex aura surged. With the 2 imperial princes leading them, they chased after them. The heavenly soldiers and heavenly generals didn't dare to resist at all. One after another, congratulatory voices sounded. As expected of the Dragon Prince. Just show your divine might, and those heavenly soldiers and heavenly generals were defeated. If you attacked, nothing could stop you. The Dragon Prince laughed and sped up. The group charged into the depths of the heavenly court. However, they discovered that other than the southern heavenly gate and the first Tao Palace, the 33rd heaven in the distance was indeed an illusion. No matter how they set off, the illusion would always appear in front of them. Another Tao palace appeared in front of them. It was golden and dazzling. The heavenly soldiers, heavenly generals, and the armored giants all entered. Seeing this scene, the dragon prince and the others roared angrily and rushed in. It was another Tao palace. Perhaps there was also a golden coffin inside. Even Lin Xian and the others were surprised. This time, the heavenly generals, peerless experts, and super mighty figures were all very careful. However, they discovered that there was an extremely strong seal on it this time. They couldn't open it at all. It seemed that they had to work together to break it. However, some people were puzzled. Why did this Tao palace feel different from the first one? At this moment, Lin Xian received a voice transmission from Black Mountain. While everyone was discussing, Lin Xian walked out. There were 12 Tao palaces, and each one was different. Was there a need to explain? If they were all the same, why were there 12? This one's aura was obviously more terrifying. If you're afraid of death, get lost. I want to go in. If I can learn another peerless theurgy, so what if you're an imperial prince? I still dare to fight. Now, everyone knew that the mad god had obtained the fearless lion seal, which was a peerless technique comparable to an imperial theurgy. In addition, the other party's arrogant words made the others' eyes turn red. Yes, that's right. There was no doubt that the first peerless technique inside was even more terrifying. We must get it. You're tuning into the LoveLore Library YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.